The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Dude, I got to tell you, I just spent about a week with family, and I am absolutely thrilled and delighted to be here in front of strangers. You have no idea. My mother, she put a satellite dish up. I said, gee, wow, she did the sports night. I can't imagine discussing like the pennant race with her. But it was, believe me, it was like, it picked up problems from other families. It's like, I'm paranoid about everything in my life. Even at home, on my stationary bike, I have a rear view mirror, which I'm not thrilled about. You know, it's a bitch when you get divorced or you break up. You go out with new people, you keep thinking of your ex. It's on your brain like a skull cap. You can't get rid of it, you know? And I had a great date last week. I picked the woman up, and she says, well, let's go out for dinner. And I said, Sharon always ate too.
It's a very confusing day because yesterday was February 28th, so today should be March 1st, right? It's actually February 29th.
Leap day. Once every 4 years.
Happy Leap Day.
Showtime!
Ain't that something? Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. She's Thursday. It's a hell of a deal. Before we do any damn thing, we should pay our respects to the passing of one hell of a talented comic by the name of Richard Lewis, who passed away, a day or two ago. A heart attack got him, and he was only 76 years old.
That's heartbreaking. I've been rewatching the Curb Your Enthusiasms, their older seasons, because they came out with their new season recently. And so I've been watching him a lot lately. So that really took me by surprise.
Well, you're exactly what a lot of articles are saying, that younger people know him from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Or, I grew up watching his stand-up. I didn't really see many movies he was in, outside of like Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Saw that one, but...
Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Yes, I remember that one.
His appearances on late shows and his stand-up comedy, such a funny guy. The self-deprecating humor. He's one of a couple that mastered it. If not,
he nailed
just perfected it.
He nailed that neurotic, self-conscious, nerve-wracked type character who had zero confidence in himself. Second-guessed.
Touching his head, his bit. I mean, he
second-guessed
so
every thought that he had, everything that he said out loud.
And you could tell it was real. He just made it very funny.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely. Go ahead, John.
To your point about Curb Your Enthusiasm, I mean, so he plays a fictional version of himself, like a lot of celebrities do on this show. If you're not familiar, Larry David, one of the creators of Seinfeld, he's got a show on HBO. Larry David, a notable a-hole, but he makes it very funny. The first few episodes, I thought, why does anybody like this guy? Why does anybody enjoy this show? I don't understand. And then I realized it's genius and fell in love with him. Richard Lewis is definitely a highlight on that show. And so you haven't watched this season yet, Ashley?
I've been watching the newer one, yeah, but it's only like once a week, right?
Yeah, so they're about 4 episodes deep, and it's kind of creepy because they touched on Richard Lewis's death 2 episodes ago. And there was a scene between him and Larry David where he tells Larry David, I put you in my will, right? And then they kind of get in a fight about it, as they do about everything. They fight about everything. And I remember my wife and I watching it, because there's another point about they're fighting about who's going to die first. And I remember thinking, Richard Lewis for a couple of years has looked very sickly. He announced he had Parkinson's, and he's very pale, very thin, and you can tell it's a little bit of a struggle for him to move around. And I remember thinking, man, I wonder how much longer he's got, because he does look so sick. And then, sadly, Tuesday he passes away. I grabbed a couple of those clips, though. So this is Richard talking about putting Larry in his will.
I'm leaving you in my will. I'm tweaking it, and you're in it.
No, don't do that.
It's done. You're in.
I don't want to be in it. I have money. I don't need it. Give it to someone who needs it.
When I die, I want you to know how much I care about you.
I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to give it to charity.
You're my best friend. You're getting it.
If bequeath, I will not accept.
Well, I'm bequeathing.
Well, I'm not accepting.
You'll have to accept.
Don't give it to me.
Don't hurt my feelings.
I'm not going to keep a penny of it.
You're hurting me.
Thank you, but I don't want it.
I'm giving it to you anyway, pal.
Oh, my God. You.
And that's kind of a tenet of the show. He's trying to show that he loves him, and then they fight about it.
Yeah.
And then this is Richard and Larry fighting about who's going to die first.
What makes you think that I'm going to die before you?
You're a little ragged right now. I'm
You think
I'm
that?
in a little better shape than
Oh,
you.
really?
Yeah.
I'm going to outlive you by 20 years.
My trainer is going to move in with me.
As soon as I get home, I'm going to hire a nutritionist. I'm going to get an acupuncturist, a masseuse. I will not have a donut for the rest of my life.
You think
just
so?
because I want to outlive you.
So sounds like a riot. Curb Your Enthusiasm, personally, never saw it. I'm with Josh. My exposure, for lack of a better term, to Richard Lewis started when I was a kid watching him on David Letterman. And my sister and I just absolutely were crazy about his act.
I'd never seen anything like it before.
Well, I guess some folks compared him to Woody Allen.
Yeah, I suppose. And,
But I'll go ahead and admit something else. I've never seen anything with Woody Allen in it ever. I just know that that's who Richard Lewis's character was compared to a lot.
I've heard people say Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright.
I think that's a little different.
Yeah, very different in my opinion.
But
yeah.
I can kind of see what they're saying. You know, kind of a depressed comic. But Stephen Wright also he had his own thing going.
The guy was okay. You mentioned you said, Josh, that you hadn't seen any of his movies. What about the television show Anything But Love? I think it was called.
Yeah, that's correct. No, I hadn't seen that either.
Not to get you
that Jamie Lee Curtis.
Not
right?
to get you going, Josh, but again, I'm going to mention my sister. She had such an amazing, wild crush on Richard Lewis. She thought he was just the cutest sumbitch, and she loved his act. That she and I would watch that sitcom in the late 80s, Anything But Love, with, as you mentioned, Jamie Lee Curtis, who's just one of the talented and the most talented and sexiest creatures that I've ever. So, yeah, I haven't seen anything from Richard Lewis in a long time.
I never saw Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah, he was in Leaving Las Vegas.
He was?
Yeah.
What character did he play in that?
I never saw it. I don't know. I was just reading about him.
Oh, he must make a very, very brief appearance in Leaving Las Vegas. I don't even remember, and I've seen that movie.
So he wasn't a prominent character?
Not that I remember. I've seen that movie multiple times, but...
Can I just say something about your sister? I was lucky enough to see her a month or so ago, and I just wanted to say, hey, good to see you, and I accidentally said, I love you. It just came out. I didn't mean to say it. I said, I love you.
You did that again?
And I said, I've always loved you. And you're the one that got away.
Oh, no, Josh.
And it was weird because all I wanted to say was, hey, good to see you.
You always seem to dump those big dramatic lines on my sister.
And then I tried to save it.
There's no way to save that.
Well, I think I was close. I said, whatever happened between us, why aren't we together?
Oh, man.
And then she said, your wife's right behind you. And I remember saying, what wife?
That's a damn shame. He just had us rolling back when we were kids, staying up late watching Letterman. Richard Lewis was such a riot. And I don't know how to define this, but there is something sort of special about Richard Lewis to me. He was the first famous person that I ever met in the radio business.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess. I appreciate that, Dana. I'm not sure how to, like I said, I'm not sure how to define it or why I think that's special.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know.
You could have met a D-list celebrity that went on to do something absolutely horrible, You met Richard Lewis.
And it was really, really cool because of what I just explained to you, that my sister and I were crazy about his act on the Letterman show in the mid-'80s, early, So we had him in studio. This is 30 years ago. We had him in studio. And I can't say that I was really nervous because I had no idea what I was doing. I honestly maybe had been in the business for a month. So I wasn't really nervous because I really had no idea what I was doing. And there were others on the show with me who I thought would take the reins, and they did. That was their job. I was there just for, a little attempt at a funny joke now and again. But Richard Lewis he became very aware of the fact that I was the new guy, and he made a point. He made an effort to include me in the conversation on and off air.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. And even in between, during commercials, I was wearing a Twins hat, and he started a conversation with me about baseball. If you don't know this about Richard Lewis, he was an insane baseball fan.
Oh, yeah.
And basketball.
There was videos of him going around yesterday about some of the rants he's gone on about sports and how big of a sports fan he was. So that's an awesome story.
It was really cool that he did make an effort to, probably because he remembered what it was like to be the new character, comic, whatever the case may be. It was obvious to me that, hey, he made a point to include me in every conversation on and off air. He didn't just jaw jack with the fatso behind the board who was like the guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that
Sergeant
was really
skin tags.
Yes, I thought that was really special and generous of him, and it made me even a bigger fan. So.
Oh, I could see why. Comedians a lot of times are a crapshoot, right? They're so energetic, certain ones, and they're so funny, and then you meet them in person, and maybe they're not kind, or they're completely different than you expect them to be. Well, don't meet your heroes, right? That's what they always say.
Right.
Yep.
We've been surprised a couple of times. But, yeah, he came across as that type of guy. I'm glad to know he was in person. You played
a couple of his jokes there in your intro, a couple of his stand-up jokes. Speaking of my sister, if she's awake right now and listening, text me. There was, and maybe I'll try to get a hold of her later if she's not upright. She has problems sleeping, so she might be awake right now listening. There was a joke that Richard Lewis told on the Letterman show when we were kids about his mother, and my sister and I would still talk about it from time to time. If my sister is awake and listening, and you remember that joke about his mother, text it to me, because I want to share. I can't remember it. But
is it about her calling him before?
I don't remember at all. All I remember is that it was about his mother.
Okay, because I have one. I don't know if this is
he told a lot of jokes about his mother.
Right.
I think the truth was that they did not get along at all.
Oh, really?
This is what I remember. This is what I remember from being a Richard Lewis fan since I was 12, 13 years old. I think his dad died when he was very young, and he did not have a good relationship with his mother, and that played into his act.
Well, maybe this is it.
Go ahead.
I'm so excited to be here. It's Johnny's here, Joe, and it's a party for Bert. I should enjoy this moment like you are, but I can't. My mother called me. I tell her, don't call me. Don't call me the day of a Tonight Show. She knows I get freaked out. She knows that this show is practically as important as having sex to me, and she knows that. Yeah, so today, here's what happens. During my morning, I'm preparing. I pull all the phones out of my apartment. I go on an errand. I'm on somewhere on Santa Monica Boulevard at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and a payphone rings. And, but hey, I love her. I love you, Mom. She's recuperating. She had some major open guilt surgery a couple of weeks ago.
That's not it, but that is very funny. She had major open guilt surgery. That's unbelievable. Oh, that's not it, but I'll try to... God. I think he dumped this joke out in, 1984. And my sister and I talked about it and would, bring it back up year after year because it was so friggin' perfect. What was the line he said about his therapist years ago? He quit therapy because he thought his analyst was trying to help him behind his back. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I suspected that my therapist was trying to help me behind my back. Guess you had to be there. That's a hell of a deal. All right, today is Leap Day. I'll go ahead and admit something else this morning. I don't understand Leap Day at all. I'm completely lost and always have been on why or how Leap Day works.
Well, it's usually every 4 years we get a 29th of February. And I
got you so far.
And essentially, like they say, we go around the sun 365 days is what it takes for a year, correct?
F me running.
You've heard that before.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know how the calendar works.
No, I do not.
There's 12 months.
Yes.
And we orbit the sun, right? But apparently it's 365.24 days to get around the sun.
How the hell do you know this stuff? He's not reading this off a piece of paper. He's looking me dead in the eye.
I didn't look it up at all before the show. Of course not. I was well aware of this information.
Leap day.
So it's basically 365 days, 5 hours and 48 minutes, 56 seconds. But you already did the math, I'm sure.
F me running.
So otherwise, we'd have Christmas in July if they decided not to throw in a 29th every 4 years.
That would be fun. Christmas in July. That's like, sometimes my family will just up and have breakfast for dinner.
I did last night.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's actually one of our go-tos, breakfast for dinner.
You don't do breakfast for dinner.
A couple times a week.
You bastards.
I love breakfast for dinner.
Same.
Stupid. That's what it is.
Oh, really? I thought
Absolutely.
you'd be a
I'm
breakfast
kidding.
for dinner
I'm
guy.
kidding. I couldn't care what the hell you guys eat for dinner. 4 million people in the world are leap day babies.
Leaplings, they call them.
You taught me that yesterday. You know so much cool stuff. You said that word yesterday. Leaplings.
Leaplings. I was looking up some leapling celebrity birthdays to.
Any good ones?
No.
There was no.
Okay, I don't want to say no as in they're not good people. I don't know, but I didn't think any that really fit with what we do around here.
Famous
I'd
people.
agree.
Famous people with leap day birthdays. There was no one that grabbed you.
Not at all.
Damn.
Yeah, I looked that up yesterday too, and I looked at the results, and I was like, I don't think that's interesting.
Was my second grade teacher on there?
No,
I don't know.
she
I don't
wasn't.
think so.
Because
Second grade teacher.
She blew our minds in second grade because she said it was a leap year that year, I believe. And she said, I'm only about as old as you kids are. Because she had only had, 8 or 9 birthdays at that point. Because, falls on the 29th. So she explained to us what leap day was, and we were just fascinated by that. They'd be like, you only had 8 birthdays? Like,
Effed you guys up.
I didn't do any research on this topic, but apparently leap day babies get sick of the jokes. Well, you're really only 4 or whatever it is.
I'm sure.
Once every 4 years, one of my kids will tell me they love me. I kind of look forward to that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Some other things that only come around every 4 years. Marriage, sex, I guess. Once every 4 years.
I wonder, if that's difficult, having a leap year birthday when it comes to things like with your Social Security and the DMV and things like that. Because I feel like that would add an extra layer of problems to it.
Some complications you don't need.
Yeah.
They probably just go off the year you were born.
I don't even know what the hell is going on. But wrinkled floating pond scum Jesus texted into the program. You probably know this already, Josh, because you were researching leap day birthdays.
No, I wasn't. Oh, I already said I was.
Yes, you were. Or at least you said that. NBA All-Star Tyrese Halliburton is a leapling. Many of you's even heard of that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Big D Trucker Jesus married his ex-wife on a leap year, February 29th. After the wedding, she asked him why he chose that date, and he said, so I only got to buy your bitch ass an anniversary gift every 4 years.
Your bitch ass.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know why the marriage didn't last.
If you're a salary employee, you're working for free today.
A few people, including Teacher Jesus, text that in, saying, this is BS. I shouldn't be here today. I'm not getting paid.
It's not a real day.
You're working one extra day for the same monies. If you get paid hourly, you're good to go. It only affects people who make a set amount per year. So yeah, there you go. I've worn out any conversation that I'd be capable of having on leap day or leap year.
Not Josh. He'll chat your ear off all day about it.
Oh, yeah.
Guy's an expert.
Just things I knew. Bad timing, Jesus, on the idea of having breakfast for dinner said, yay, Brenner. I've never heard anybody say Brenner before.
I have. It's pretty cringy.
Really? Because you're kind of like a guy that throws those things out.
Yeah, I could see Dana doing that.
I've said Brenner a couple times.
Yeah, haven't heard that one.
Nobody should say that.
I don't like it.
You don't like Brenner?
No one should ever say it.
I'm more impressed with people that have dinner for breakfast. Like they straight up cook a lasagna at 7 a.m.
That's us.
That is impressive.
Isn't that us usually? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I get home from the show, I usually don't go for breakfast foods. I'm like, maybe I'll make some teriyaki chicken or something.
Oh, yeah, it's lunchtime when we get out of here.
Yeah.
It's not breakfast.
That's not weird.
We skip breakfast. We go straight to lunch. That's what we do around here. But I'll take a chuck wagon over chicken teriyaki any day. What the hell's the matter with you?
I have it in the fridge at home.
You want to wake up with diarrhea? What time do you get out of bed after you take your nap? Well, my body wakes me up because I have terrible diarrhea.
Natural alarm.
Yeah. What else is going on around here, Cubby?
Well, happy birthday to Leap Year Jesus, who said he's turning 9 in leap years today.
See, this is going to be a battle for me all day, trying to follow what the hell everyone's talking about. I got a buddy that has a birthday tomorrow. Is he affected by any of this?
Nah.
No?
Well, it's a day later. I mean,
it's a day later.
All right. I mean, it would have been his birthday today in any normal year.
There you go. See what I'm saying?
Get an extra day to pay your bills. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
Paying the... Oh, Christ, I got to pay the bills tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every
On a
effing...
Friday,
I go
too.
through
That's
this.
not right.
Every month I go through this. If it wasn't for you people, the lights will go out.
Sprinkler fitter Jesus said you can't discuss Brenner without bringing up Lupper. Haven't heard that one either.
No. We need to put a lid on this.
Oh, no, let's keep going. This is good. And now people that are just realizing they're working for free today are texting in and they're not too excited about it.
Oh, because they're working for free?
Yeah.
They're all just a collective son of a...
Oh, I'm sure the boss will buy a pizza or something today. You know how bosses are always thinking about you.
Well, we got a Thursday broadcast on our hands. Randy Shaver will duck in here at 7:30. Talk a little sports with us. The Iowegians went home.
It did.
I think so.
I don't know, unless they're still partying or something.
They all came to town to see Caitlin Clark, and I'm guessing they're packing up and heading out of here at this point.
There's people lining up outside for that game like 6-7 hours before it started.
What the hell for?
Wow.
The GA section. You know, the student section's general admission.
Oh, the student section.
That's awesome.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That'd probably be a fun line to wait in.
I was wondering, why the hell am I spending money on...
You say sick? How long before?
It's like I saw the line start about 2 o'clock.
Students.
Yeah.
Young kids.
You're coming up on Lupper time at that point.
That goes by so fast if you're sitting there drinking and stuff, though, hanging out with your friends.
What goes by so fast?
That sort of line.
6 hours? I don't know.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? For Christ's sake, they're not drinking online at that setup. This ain't Vegas.
I mean,
really, you think a 6 hour line is not
oh, Christ.
long?
Even if I am drinking, that's ridiculous.
That's a 6-hour shift of drinking. Whoa, am I hammered?
Yeah, they had a big deal last night at the barn. I'm sure Randy Shaver will want to cover that. But you know what you do, Josh? After you've had, did you say Brenner?
Yeah, there's Brenner and we've had Lupper as well.
And then maybe you have some Lupper. You might be filthy. You better duck in and have a Bauer.
I know you don't like that one.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
Isn't that what you call it, Ashley?
No, I just call it shower beer.
No.
Oh, you do? Okay.
There was someone else that we used to know, Josh, who really thought they were breaking creative ground by saying that she and her friends refer to a shower beer as a Bauer.
Oh, now
Crazy.
yes, I know what you're talking about.
And they had a look on their face when they dumped this on us as if we were going to reel with excitement.
Yeah.
And I said, that is the dumbest thing. That's as far as you could go with. And we got a bunch of texts saying, what about, what were some of the options, the alternatives?
There are some good ones, which of course I don't remember.
Right,
Sorry, I got a lot of leap day info in my head.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Spudweiser?
Sudsweiser, yeah.
But you went with Bauer, and we're supposed to be impressed by that. See, now I've gone too far. We got to take a break. A happy leap day, and we'll come back in a few minutes here on the Half-Fast Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration.
They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
What companies deserve your hard-earned dollar? Which would you want to work for? How can you know if they share your values? Just ask us. Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks who really means business in supporting workers, customers, communities, the environment, and shareholders. We measure progress, track success, and help them be better. When you see the Just Capital seal, you know what's real, because just business is better business. Visit justcapital.com to learn who makes your dollar count.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah. We have come to that time where we ought to go ahead and cover the stupid news. Wapple's here, Ashley, Dana. I go by the name of Nick. Across the board from me, Josh. He's the dick joke guy on the program.
That is an off-air thing. I don't want to be the dick joke guy.
You have to be, Josh.
Somebody's got to be the dick joke guy, and apparently it's you.
Now, let me say, on the air, I'm not the dick joke guy. But you might hear me become the dick joke guy.
Where are we going to hear? Like maybe
no offense to anything going on. Just say I don't feel like I am the dick joke guy.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah. You might surprise yourself.
That was an off-air conversation.
I had to dump it out there. I just had to. I'm going to listen to some ads. That's what I'm going to do and find out whether you are or are not the dick joke guy. That's what I'm going to do. Here we go.
I'm not saying anything, but let's just, outside of, sometimes you don't want to be the dick joke guy. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes they say, no. You're the dick joke guy.
Right. We all know. You don't have a choice sometimes. All right. Everywhere's you look these days. God dang. Everywhere's. There are grown folks lashing out violently like little children. Because deep down, that's exactly what they are. This is one of two stories in our stupid news report that might piss you off a little bit. If you're a reasonable person, you'll be pissed off. Because it's just so pathetic. A video started going round and round yesterday. Security footage, I think, is how I should describe it. Do you know what that means when I say security footage?
I'm going to Google it.
You're going to Google it?
Yeah.
Gosh, God knows everything about Leap Day, but doesn't know what security footage is.
I got to Google some things.
A video started going around where a dude who runs a nail salon in Las Vegas took a terrible beating right there inside his shop. He took a beating from three big tough guys who were apparently upset that the shop owner refused to allow their gal friend to use his bathroom. And again, we all know the real reason for the beating was because they're just angry little babies who need to take out their childlike anger on innocent people because despite being adults, they're unable to control their emotions and the personal issues that most grown folks can resolve in other ways. I bet you didn't know that I'm an amateur psychologist.
Well, I've heard you say it before.
I at least should play one on television, don't you think, Josh?
Why not? I think you missed your calling. You have leading man looks, charisma, stately nipples. You could easily be an A-lister.
I'll give you the rest of today's show to cut that out, what you're doing right now.
I could picture you on the red carpet wearing your Uggs and your Donna Karan. I don't know brands.
Who is my date on the red carpet?
Well, which one? Just tell me the hair color.
Just tell me who you picture when you...
Oh, I picture, Tara Reid. Britney Spears, Scarlett Johansson.
Lindsay Lohan.
I bet you if
Beverly D'Angelo.
Jesus balls. I bet you if I'm standing on the red carpet at a big Hollywood event with Tara Reid, I bet she's gotten me to start smoking cigarettes. Has she convinced me to start smoking with her, Tara Reid? Because that's sexy. All right. These three tool bags. Here's the whole story. A fella named Nathan. He's the owner of a nail salon joint called Nail Palace. He was working on Sunday when a lady came into his salon asking for a pedicure. But Nathan quickly figured out that the lady was making all that up. She just wanted to take a leak. And Nathan told the gal, no, go find somewhere else to take a whiz. So, because this gal also can't handle a grown folks world without reverting back to when she was 6 years old, she picked up a plant and smashed it on the floor on her way out the store. But that wasn't the end of it. She came back a few minutes later with 3 big, fat-headed morons, and they tuned up Nathan, the salon owner, who, by the way, is about 5 foot tall and maybe 85 effing pounds.
They really whooped this guy. I felt so bad for him.
Oh, and Josh, you noticed this. He was bleeding like a bat. It was one of those hip, trendy beatings, too, that just kind of became popular in the last 20 years, where even after Nathan is on the floor, obviously unwilling to fight back, the 3 tough guys, they took turns kicking him, stomping his guts for him, and all that.
This is up on 93x.com.
Appreciate that. For nearly a minute, these 3 idiots teed off on Nathan. Now, someone next door to the salon recorded all 3 of them and the lady who started all this as they were walking out the joint to their car. So I have high hopes that these puke bags are going to get what's coming to them. My little Nathan was pretty effing banged up after this, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't understand that, not to sound like the old guy yelling at clouds, but I do miss the days when a couple people would square up for a fight, someone ended up on the ground, and that was it. Everybody walked away. Not 5 friends jumped in. Your most courageous friend waits until the guy's unconscious to start kicking him in the head, that kind of thing. And I don't know why that became okay.
I don't know either.
I mean, people have to, can you imagine, Nick?
It enrages me.
You get into a fight. I'm just going to, at random, pick a town. Maple Lake.
Oh!
I don't know why that came to mind.
Yes.
You go to Maple Lake. Finally, they agree to fight you one-on-one, and I know that wasn't the situation last time.
No, it was not.
You get the guy on the ground.
Yes.
It's obvious you were dominating the fight, which would probably happen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of your buddies goes to start kicking him, and the next buddy, you're never going to allow that to happen.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's just a different mindset. It's acceptable now. Anyway, you've heard us go off on this before. I don't get... It's just another reason, another example of why I hate us so much. I do. I hate us now.
Or even worse, everybody's armed. Back in the day, you could settle it with fists.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the level of anger is out of control.
I don't get us anymore. I don't get the conclusions that we come to.
And you used to be able to take an insult, like, oh, that kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but I'm not going to threaten their family on social media.
Another great point. And everyone knows, Josh, that you are not the old guy yelling at a cloud. Who is he?
Don't say it. Do not say it. Do not say it. Because I know what you want to say. Don't say it.
Mm-hmm. But you're certainly not the old guy yelling at the cloud.
Dick guy. Was that Wapple?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I want to acknowledge something. We're getting a lot of texts from folks cheating on us and saying that K-Fan's been saying some nice things about you, Wapple. Have you seen those texts coming in?
No, well, Dana kind of perked my ears to it, I guess, and I'm like, why me?
Why? Of course, why not?
Why did I?
You're a Waffle.
You're super deserving. So I want to thank those guys. I don't know if we did this or not.
Oh, it's a friggin' setup.
Is it?
It's a setup.
Oh, no, they're going to drop the anchor in a second?
Those shady bastards. you guys, you think this is legit? They're trying to draw you in so they can kill you.
Oh, no.
Wapple,
harpoon me.
Wapple, first and foremost, take it from me, the dick joke guy.
Yeah.
You deserve all the praise you can get, but that was very nice of them to say, and I forgot if we thanked them, but Dana was telling us that they sent us a very nice message on our 25th anniversary.
They did, yeah.
So thank you for that. That was moving. That was very nice.
For Christ's sake.
You
didn't like that?
I don't like that.
How about this?
Talking about other radio stations. Are you guys nuts or something?
Well, yeah, back in the day, you'd end up in the boss's office.
Do you know what that causes people to do? Anyway, so this story, like I said, it's one of 2 this morning that are likely going to piss you off. Speaking of Wapple, You know what I would do if I were this Nathan guy? I'd make one phone call. You know who I'd call? The Acolytes Protection Agency.
Oh, the old APA.
More commonly known as the APA. I'd put Ron Simmons and John Bradshaw Layfield on the case. They'd have these 3 pretend tough guys cleaned out in no time.
Damn.
Which organization are we talking about here? WWE?
Yeah.
Is this WWE?
Yeah. If you can pull them away from the poker table and the canned Budweiser for long enough.
And the cigars.
Cigar smoking.
Yep.
All right, what are we doing now? Police in Kentucky. This isn't the... I'll holler at you when we're at the second piss-off story. I will. This is just a... Police in Kentucky, more specifically a town called Georgetown. The cops broke up a big pot-dealing hotspot. The dealer or dealers were doing their thing right out of a neighborhood liquor store. That's not very bright. Says here police got themselves one of those search warrants and found what is believed to be a large quantity of marijuana at a joint called... Okay, maybe this is one of those piss me off stories.
I assumed this was one you're going to throw on that list.
It didn't dawn on me at first that I was reading. I guess we have 3 piss off stories because this one aggravates me.
And you're not easily riled up.
No, not at all. Not at all. The name of the liquor store is 420 Liquors. Isn't that great? 420. I don't know about you, but I can't get enough of that joke. The cops said we received a drug complaint tip. We were able to find multiple pounds of what we believe to be marijuana that they were selling openly at the store.
Wapple, are you willing to offer your services to find out if it really is marijuana?
Oh, I would gladly take that.
You are a servant of the community.
You know what? I might even do overtime on this case.
They're testing it as a lab. That doesn't make any sense. They're testing it at a lab. That's how they're going to find out if it's legit geef or not. You guys tell me, because you're all filthy potheads. Isn't pot smoking or certain types of marijuana supposed to help with creativity? It expands your mind and all that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
definitely.
then I suggest potheads smoke some of that grass and come up with something to replace that tired-ass 420 gimmick.
Yeah, that's the sativa you need.
I was just going to ask. Sativa. People were texting on sativa the other day. I can't remember what we were talking about. But that seems to be the one that folks are saying that's the way to go.
Yeah, it doesn't make you sleepy.
Oh, maybe that's it.
I don't know.
Cream of the crop.
I've
gotta
never
come up
noticed
with
a
something.
difference
You never notice a difference in what?
between the different strands of weed. It just gets me high.
Oh, it is night and day for
I guess
me.
I've never really noticed.
I could go sleepy night on some indica pretty quickly.
Yeah, somebody said the right way to remember is indica, couch.
Yep.
That's where you'll be.
Ashley, you're still off the weed?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
You haven't had
I don't
one
even,
weed in how long?
Since December 25th.
Good for you.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, I don't even think about it anymore. It's gotten to the point though, if I'm like walking into a restaurant or something and somebody like smoked in the car and I can like smell it outside, it like kind of grosses me out now, and it used to not. But so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, good for
Yeah,
you.
it kind of
Reg,
makes my stomach flip. I'm like, ooh.
I know that was important to you. Congrats.
I do miss it when it comes to video games, though.
I bet.
It's not the same.
I never would have thought of that.
Enough with the weed already. Weren't you guys saying something about K-Fan a couple minutes ago?
Very kind to them, right, Wapple?
Very nice. Very nice.
For Christ's sake.
Not funny.
How about we continue on with one of those, look, old people doing young people things type of stories? It's cute. People are suckers for that kind of thing. Do you like the, look, old people doing young people things routine?
Well, I guess I'm trying to think of an example.
Well, there's an easy example.
How about Betty White?
God bless the late Betty White.
Yes.
She thrived on the old people doing young people things gimmick. She knew what she was doing. She'd go on a television talk show, and the host would say, "Hello, Betty. Are you having a good day?" And Betty would say, "Well, word up. Me and my homies went out to a club today and got crunk." And everyone would say, "Oh, my God, she's old, and she said young people things."
What's up, fellow young kids?
The way you asked the question, the way you phrased it, your tone of voice, And then what you just said right there leads me not to want to answer the question. Whether or not I think it's funny when old people do young people things.
I do love those commercials where they have the young people doing old people things.
Explain
like
yourself.
Those insurance commercials?
Yeah, is it
those are good.
Yeah.
Where not to become your parents?
Yeah. The used butter containers are not for my leftovers.
Yeah, some of those are very funny.
I don't know those.
that.
I didn't see that one yet.
They're worried about parking, going to like an event or something,
Yep.
you know?
Oh, and it's funny because I'm like, holy cow, I've been that way since I was 30.
I feel about those commercials too.
Well, we'd probably leave early if we want to beat the traffic.
What I have here for you, by God, is a 75-year-old lady who is a prolific pole dancer. Now, before any of you run off to the cash machine, she's not working at a topless club just yet. From what I know, she just pole dances in her free time. But it's still adorable because it's old people doing young people things. I read this a couple days ago. I wanted to run it by you folks. Do you know what the nickname is for guys who are turned on by much older women? Do you know the nickname?
Oh.
Wapples?
Bastard.
Is it like a gerontosexual or something like that?
No, it's much. It's only one syllable, and it's very reminiscent of a nickname that's commonly used on this program. Cub.
Oh. Yeah, I think I did know that.
A young fella who's turned on by older women's. Apparently, the nickname is a cub. That's funny. So anyway, back to this gal. She's 75 years old. She goes by the name of Stauffer Wise. Her husband is dead.
Oh, no.
And she waited until after her retirement to fulfill one of her lifelong dreams, to become a pole dancer. She began taking classes, and she let her buck. And she looks great.
Oh, yeah.
She looks terrific.
She sure does.
She can spin round and round on that damn pole, despite the fact that she's hauling around rheumatoid arthritis in her wrists and hands, and osteoporosis, too. Brittle bones, don't you know?
That's not good.
If you didn't know what
Take one bad fall.
She has fallen off the pole once or twice and rang her skull off the floor, but she's all right.
She's got powerful thighs and a strong core. That's for sure, after watching a couple of her videos. Anyone here ever tried the art of the pole?
I've always wanted to.
Looks difficult.
It does. You have to have a really strong core. So, and maybe I'll give it a try after working out for a couple more months.
Yeah, you've been in the gym a lot.
Yeah, maybe I could do it now.
I'm jealous of your motivation.
Of course, some of her family and friends are being dicks about this. They don't think Grandma should be pulling on boy shorts and swinging her old carcass around a pole, but she don't care. Maybe there is a place to see her perform. It says here she puts on shows in East Hollywood and Beverly Hills, California. Puts on shows somewheres.
Has anyone ever been at a Wolves game where they bring out the senior dance team?
No.
It wasn't a Wolves game, but I have seen them somewhere. I forget where.
It's a riot, Dana, because why is it a riot?
It's because they're old.
It's old people doing young things. They put on some raunchy hip-hop song. I can't get enough.
Old people doing young things.
People things. You know the song.
People doing young things.
Oh, no.
Dental Babe Jesus has tried dancing on the pole and said it's hard and she sweats a ton.
Oh, that makes it tough, I bet.
Hell yeah.
I've tried working my way up a fireman's pole, and I couldn't do it. Very difficult. I wish I had that strength. And it was embarrassing because there was a person probably, 11 years old, and he dominated at it. It was like Spider-Man.
Stupid kids.
He's got less weight.
Even when I was in good shape,
that's right.
I could never climb the rope. Could you guys climb the rope back in the day?
Up
gym
and
class?
down.
Yeah.
I could do it ass backwards,
The rope
pants
was
on,
easier for
pants
some
off.
reason.
Yeah,
We never had to do that.
It's less slippery, I guess.
I think it was too dangerous.
I was always better at throwing ropes.
Boy, I'll never forget there's a few terms that have gotten me over the years where somebody says it and it's like a punch to the gut. That's one of them.
Old guys saying raunchy young guy stuff. It's a hit no matter where you go.
Old people doing young things.
Yeah.
Porta Potty Poop Pumper Jesus said, didn't you guys used to have a poll in the office? We did and we do. It's still in another studio.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's down the hall. Want to give it a shot?
Yeah, heck
You
yeah.
guys should have been to my Super Poll party. Boy, that was 20...
That was a long
15
time
years ago. Super Bowl Sunday, I rented a stripper pole and invited some girls over. I didn't see any of the game at all.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing. All right, if I haven't come off aggravated enough already, this is the story that really makes me effing nuts. My blood pressure already, Cubby.
I could tell.
Squatters. Those scumbag bastards.
Yeah, squatters, that's one thing. Squatters' rights, just don't get it. Maybe somebody can explain it and it'll make sense to me, but that eludes me.
I'm with
how
you,
that's
Josh.
a thing.
I can't understand how you can just like walk into you can like sit there for so long that now it's all of a sudden yours. That doesn't work that way. Your name isn't on the mortgage.
The rage that I feel when I see or read one of these squatter stories is not healthy. Sorry, I'm an old guy.
Gives you gas.
I have gas.
Your anger is giving you gas.
In Los Angeles, a 7-bedroom dream house, one of these slick Hollywood Hills type houses, was taken over by squatters who even went ahead and set up a business on the property. The human puke bag ringleader of this squatting operation allegedly wrote up a fake lease, and he and some OnlyFans models moved smooth into the joint so they could shoot porno videos or whatever the hell they were doing. The squatters also threw wild parties so they could pretend to be somebodies. So the real estate lady who was looking to sell this house is the one who found out about all this mess. As you might imagine, the scumbags did make a terrible mess in the house because, hey, it's not their problem, right? The real estate agent goes by the name of Emily something or another. She said there was poop and pee everywhere. Now, I believe she's referring to dog poo and pee, but I could be wrong. They cut all the cords to the security systems. They brought in new Wi-Fi. They were planning to sit there and move in. Her husband walked into the house one day when they were going to prep it to put it on sale, and her husband found some derelict sleeping in a bed and called the police. When the cops got there, they weren't able to get the derelict out of the house. He refused to leave, as if he's got some claim to the effing place. And I guess there was nothing the cops could do right away. You know how that stuff plays out. So the couple waited till this derelict, he had to leave at one point or another. They called the police again, and I guess that's how Cops knocked on the door. Some girl opened it up. She was an OnlyFans model. And they escorted her out, and her dog, the one who was whizzing and duking all over the effing place.
Yeah, I mean, why is this okay?
I don't know.
And maybe okay is not the right. Why is it not instantaneous eviction from the place? Like, you can't just go, yeah, it's a sweet car. Mine now. I've been sitting in it for hours.
Right.
So it's definitely like me and Dirty Mike and the boys. We can just claim this Prius. This is ours.
I don't get it, Cubby. I don't.
And who's the first person in charge or had some sort of power that's like, yeah, all right, yeah, this sounds about right. You can just go ahead and sit there and it's yours now.
Well, you guys have been there for a little bit. Remember the story not too long ago? Well, shoot, maybe it was kind of long ago now, but there was a handyman who had been hired by some folks to move in with squatters, right? Because they couldn't stop him from moving in. He would just make their lives miserable until they moved out.
Yeah, that was great.
That's awesome.
He would just bring a massive bag of tools, all his handyman gear, and he'd walk in the joint and say, "Squatters, huh?" And they'd say, "Yeah." And he'd say, "Cool, I'm with you."
Yep.
Right?
I'm living here now, and he'd make their lives miserable.
And they'd be like, "Well, wait a minute, we didn't." He'd say, "What were you? Wait a minute, squatters? I mean, you moved in, so I'm moving in with you." And then he would change the locks, mess with the electricity and the water until they left. So he was hired to do this. He makes a lot of money doing this. And the guy's brilliant.
And brave.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'd be afraid a lot of those people are just tweaking in there.
Yup, you gotta out-squat the squatters, I suppose.
Now, no one's been arrested from this latest catastrophe out there in the Hollywood Hills, but they're working on it. I don't know how folks can keep it together when this kind of thing happens in their home. I don't know how they don't just start start up a chainsaw and go Leatherface on these people. Yeah, I'll give him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, and so there's laws that make it where you can't get the squatters out. So why can't you just make another law that vetoes that law?
Yeah, but what if somebody makes a law that vetoes that law, Wapple? I mean, it's a slippery slope
The old
here.
double veto.
Yeah.
I didn't pass a lot of those classes, Wapple, but I think it's a little more difficult than that.
Darn it.
Yeah.
I was going to run for office on
Right.
that campaign.
You just
I'd vote for you.
Out veto the veto.
There's a law, right? Yes. Well, how come you just don't make another law? Well, I don't know.
Here's a text that says, adverse possession in Minnesota. The squatter must live on the property for 15 years while paying taxes. Then they must receive a 30-day eviction notice. Folks out there that know stuff, I'd love to give you credit. I don't have a Jesus name here.
Here's a Wisco listener out there in Osceola who texted in to say it was an OnlyFans model squatting. She already has millions. Why doesn't she just buy the house herself? Hi, I'm Candy Catty Cat, and I make $66 million a minute.
Blowing bubbles.
Blowing bubbles out my ass.
Candy Catty Cat.
Yeah.
Kind of interested in her OnlyFans.
Doesn't
now.
it sound hot?
Yeah, it does.
All right, speaking of heat, I guess I'll close it out with this. Where do you want to go, Josh? Farmer's Daughter or Hooters? Oh, wait a minute. I can do both. I didn't realize we have plenty of time.
Yeah,
I can
we're
do
good
both.
on time.
For whatever reason, I thought, here's something I hope you really like. For those of you who dig the old hot Farmer's Daughter angle. Ah, Christ, this is an OnlyFans thing again?
Yeah, but I do like the hot farmer's daughter.
No, I'm not.
And all those stories people used to tell.
I'm going to make this the one story where I don't get aggravated, where I don't aggravate myself.
Good luck.
She is the 10 gajillionth gal you are required to look up on OnlyFans. She is. She's a farm girl, by God. She tosses up videos where she's milking cows, driving tractors, and cleaning out dirty barns while wearing what do you call it again, Josh? A bikini.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give her credit. Her name is Brittany Woods. It's not Kitty Cat, Amber Bell, Catty Cat. It's Brittany Woods. She's 29. And, of course, she's rich now.
She's on OnlyFans,
Yeah. She's way over there in New Zealand, wherever the hell that is. I was hoping maybe she lived in Corcoran or Hangover or one of those towns so we could go bowling at Medina Ballroom or something like that, she and I. But she's out in New Zealand. Well, this can't be true. She says she gets a lot of hate on social media. What?
It's the friendliest place on earth.
And this also shocks the balls off of me. She says most of the hate come from other women. What? Since when do women hate other women for no good reason?
Is that still a thing, Ashley?
That can't be still a thing.
Yeah, it's gotten a little bit better, though.
Who's that bitch over there that thinks she's so hot?
Or maybe it's just a lot of women pretending that it's better.
Brittany says that the fellow farmers have never had an issue with her. Well, hell no, they don't.
Okay.
They're hoping to see you at the next barn dance or the next rodeo.
Yeah.
You know, the farmer dudes in town don't have a problem with this.
Neither do any of the dads in the neighborhood. That's hilarious.
So there you go, fellas. Park the Case IH or the Massey Ferguson for a few minutes and look this one up. Brittany Woods, the New Zealand farm girl bikini cow milker.
She has inspired me for my next shirt. I don't own a tank top, but I will very soon. It's going to be the one she's wearing in one of her photos that says on the chest, "Cowboy Pillows."
Oh.
I will have that shirt.
You need to get that printed on a pair of pants on the back that just goes right over your butt. That'd be perfect.
Cowboy butts do what, Cubby?
Drive me nuts.
Drive them nuts.
I've been seeing a lot of these ladies around. They do different jobs. Like there's this one girl who does carpentry work in a bikini. So she'll put up she'll make a new fence and you can watch her progress. Or there's another one that does drywall and stuff like that. And she's in a bikini.
Yeah, I've seen those girls and they make me so nervous.
Like they're going to hurt themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Joe's a contractor. I wonder if he'd ever be willing to dress sexy and make a couple of videos on TikTok or something like that.
Joe's only.
I've seen those videos you're talking about, Wapple.
Mm-hmm.
The gals in the bikinis.
They're kind of fun.
Got an update, Wapple, on your theory. You were going to run on the platform of vetoing vetoes.
Yes.
James has texted in and knows how to do it. He knows exactly what you need to do. So write this down if you don't mind.
Okay.
To negate a veto, you need a de-veto. Danny DeVito.
Yes.
We have a route to take now. We still got one of those Hooters restaurants here in town, right? Over there at the damn Mega Mall.
That's correct.
It seems as if there aren't too many left.
It's always busy, too.
The legacy. There's legacy involved. Did you know that? There's legacy involved.
There's always legacy involved, Josh.
My wife worked at Hooters.
Yeah.
And a generation later, her daughter, my stepdaughter, worked at Hooters.
That's awesome.
Legacy.
Beautiful.
The last damn Hooters in West Virginia is being torn down, and locals put on a candlelight vigil last Friday to say farewell to their favorite local joint.
As they
That's
should.
funny. It's like exactly what you did in Uptown for the Arby's,
The
right?
Arby's, the iconic Arby's. Yeah, about 6 years ago, we held a candlelight vigil.
They're calling it the end of an era. Hundreds gathering at the old Hooters for a candlelight vigil.
It's a lot of memories going down with that building.
The vigil began as a joke between friends, gaining traction on social media and the attention of international news outlets.
Long live Hooters.
We had a lot of fun at Burnsville Hooters back in the day, Nick. Those guys were great to us.
Jesus, the Burnsville one. We raised, I think, the most hell when they set that one up in Minneapolis.
Blocky?
Right? Oh, God. Because Josh and I were tight with the brothers who were running the joint. Oh, for God's sake, my behavior was unbelievable.
Yeah, they were my high school classmates.
I mean,
good guys.
Don't get me wrong. When I say my behavior was unbelievable, I don't mean that I was squeezing ass. And I'm talking about I just got drunk and just carrying on till 2 a.m. and then I got to be at the radio station at 4 a.m. and I don't know how I got to work. And why am I wearing these tiny orange shorts? You know?
Not again.
Oh, we used to. So that's it. Charleston's the name of the town where this latest Hooters got put to sleep. Folks in the neighborhood saw the joint as a landmark. It was a place where people could join together after their kids' ball games, they say. It was a place where they could watch Ultimate Fighting Championship matches on the weekends. What are you talking about? The UFC was popular in West Virginia? Something else I'm not buying. Not buying that either. It was announced last week that the restaurant would be demolished and replaced with a gas station, so locals rallied together to pay homage with that candlelight vigil I was telling you about. Rest in peace, Hooters. They all they threw that message up on Facebook. People from far and wide showed up. Where's this one line? Oh, one dude. You know, you get sentimental, don't you, Cubby? It's only natural to get sentimental.
Something to him.
One customer got real sentimental by saying, I once saw a dude snort a line of black pepper at that Hooters. This is the last Hooters in all the state of West Virginia.
Actually, it wasn't lying, though. The one, the Mall of America, is always packed. There's a line.
Yep.
So for the grand farewell, someone cooked up some chicken wing out in the parking lot. They lit some candles, and they got annihilated. And they also raised a few bucks in the process for a charity. It sucks when a cool-ass joint in your neighborhood goes toes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens too much, it seems. Badass mother Sheeza said she sold a lot of drugs out of the Burnsville Hooters back in the day. Oh. Memories. Memories.
You ever seen anyone snort a line of black pepper?
I haven't, but I've seen somebody snort a line of fake sugar at a Perkins.
Oh. You ever seen anyone smoke pepper?
No.
No.
Okay. Like tabletop pepper, you know, you
like in a pipe or something?
Yeah, like they were smoking it. You ever seen anyone smoke crushed goldfish crackers?
No.
How about this? Have you ever seen someone swallow a live baby blue jay in order to get some free marijuana in trade?
Yes.
You have?
No.
You were there?
I wasn't.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Let me tell you something.
I walked so you could run.
That's right.
I've been saying penis since before you could shave, which, judging by the looks of you, was yesterday.
You have a nice penis.
Penis. Dude, that penis is sweet.
I smell penis.
Clown penis.
He's taking out his penis.
Let me get this straight, Josh. And you're not the dick joke guy?
Wait, why would I be the dick joke guy? That guy says he's the dick joke guy.
I wasn't following that. There's radio personalities arguing over who's willing to say penis on the air and who is not.
Yeah, like instead of saying, oh, he was hit in a very sensitive area, there's a couple guys saying, you say penis, that's what you do. And one of them apparently had the opportunity when he was calling a game, a soccer game, to say, hey, that guy got hit in the penis. He was kind of one of the guys that said you should say penis if it's penis, and he avoided saying it. So that's kind of the joke.
Man, I hope our show never gets caught up in a scandal like this. You know what I'm saying?
That's all tongue-in-cheek. Maybe I should have phrased that a little bit differently.
No. There are some of us who are grown and can move on. There are some of us. Some of us, for Christ's sake. What do we got going on for a quick sports report? The Wolves, they had to fight like hell to overcome the mostly junior varsity lineup that the Memphis Grizzlies put out on the floor last night. But they got the win. They got the win by 9 points. Golden Gopher basketball, I mean, they can hang. They can hang with anybody. But they just didn't get enough stops last night. Jesus balls, the University of Illinois, who the Golden Gophers were playing college basketball against, the dudes team. And I know you're all going, who played who? I don't follow this at all, you pricks. You never follow any of what I'm pressing on you here. Golden Gopher men's basketball, you never watch. They gave up 105 points.
Ooh.
That's a lot of points in college basketball. For the ladies' game last night at the barn, that Caitlin Clark phenomenon rolled into town and scored a pile of points, and everyone lost their effing minds.
She's so awesome.
And they're still up drinking. Everyone's still up, still celebrating this Caitlin Clark. We'll get into all the specifics here when Randy Shaver jumps into the mix here in about a half hour. The Pigs play in Tennessee tonight, 7 o'clock to be exact, against the Predators. That'll be televised on Bally Sports North. So we got a lot to talk about when the Ass Man joins us. For now, don't go anywhere, because Josh's news report is coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
The Ed Milet Show showcases the greatest peak performers sharing their journey, knowledge, and thought leadership.
This is one of the all-time best pieces of advice ever given on the show.
Author and coach Tony Robbins.
You don't experience life. You experience the life you focus on.
Singer Jason Derulo.
My happiest moments have always been in the grind.
Singer Jewel.
I think healing is a gritty job. It's you looking in the mirror and going, what do I got? No one's coming for me. I'm coming for me.
The Ed Milet Show is available on YouTube or wherever you listen. Half-assed morning show. 93X.
2 years ago, I started walking a little stiffly. I was shuffling my feet, and I went to a neurologist, and they gave me a brain scan, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and that was about 2 years ago. But luckily, I got it late in life, and they say you progress very slowly, if at all, and I'm on the right meds, so I'm cool. So I guess I just wanted you to know that that's where it's been at. I'm finished with stand-up. I'm just focusing on writing and acting. I have Parkinson's disease, but I'm under a doctor's care, and everything is cool, and I love my wife. I love my little puppy dog, and I love all of my friends and my fans, and now you know where it's been at the last 3.5 years. God bless you.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. Some sad news as Richard Lewis, the self-deprecating comic who perfected the art form and earned the moniker Prince of Pain, died Tuesday night at 76 years old. News of his passing was shared by his fellow comedians on social media and later confirmed by his publicist, who said he suffered a heart attack at his home. Comedy Central named Lewis one of the top 50 stand-up comedians of all time, and he earned a berth in GQ magazine's list of the 20th century's most influential humorists. But while well known for his stand-up routines, for many younger fans, Lewis is known for his appearances in HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm, where he played a fictional version of himself alongside his longtime friend Larry David. Larry David posted to social media, "Richard and I were born 3 days apart in the same hospital, and for most of my life, he's been like a brother to me. He had that rare combination of being the funniest person and also the sweetest, but today he made me sob, and for that, I will never forgive him." On a recent episode of the current season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, Lewis joked about his death and how he put Larry in his will.
I'm leaving you in my will. I'm tweaking it, and you're in it.
No, don't do that.
It's done. You're in.
I don't want to be in. I have money. I don't need it. Give it to someone who needs it.
When I die, I want you to know how much I care about you.
I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to give it to charity.
You're my best friend. You're getting it.
If bequeath, I will not accept.
Well, I'm bequeathing.
Well, I'm not accepting.
Well, you'll have to accept.
Don't give it to me.
Don't hurt my feelings.
I'm not going to keep a penny of it.
You're hurting me.
Thank you, but I don't want it.
I'm giving it to you anyway, pal.
Oh, my God. You.
Then that's love between friends.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Then they fought over who would die first.
What makes you think that I'm going to die before you?
You're a little ragged right now. I'm in a little better shape than you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to outlive you by 20 years.
My trainer is going to move in with me.
As soon as I get home, I'm going to hire a nutritionist. I'm going to get an acupuncturist, a masseuse. I will not have a donut for the rest of my life.
You think
just because I want to outlive you.
At the time of his passing, Lewis had been battling Parkinson's disease, as you heard in the opening clip. He went public with his diagnosis last April, telling fans he had been first diagnosed 2 years prior and was managing his condition with the right medications.
He was an all-timer, Cubby.
He was one of a kind. One of a kind. And he is so good on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's going to be missed. Employees at a Kentucky Dairy Queen were allegedly forced to eat ice cream tainted with cleaning solution, sending some of them to the emergency room.
We still have multiple people coming in, signing statements, but as of now, it's still under investigation.
I do have a meeting scheduled with a lawyer. What they done is not right.
The cleaning solution blizzard?
Yes.
Is what was happening over
That's
there?
what they made, yeah.
God, no.
Blizzard of the month.
A manager called employees to a mandatory staff meeting Friday night where he allegedly forced staffers to down the chemically contaminated soft serve whether they liked it or not.
What the hell was he doing that for?
He was trying to teach them a lesson.
They were told by the manager that whether or not they liked chocolate ice cream, they were going to taste it today.
Oh, I love that accent.
The parent said many of the 8 employees involved in the incident were minors, and their manager had told the group they hadn't cleaned the ice cream machine properly, so they were going to be served the contaminated ice cream as punishment.
I see.
Some of the employees were taken to the hospital after complaining they felt a burning sensation in their mouths, and I hypothesized later, their butts.
I was livid. Some of the kids had complained that they had a burning sensation when they swallowed the ice cream.
Oh, God. Can you play more of that lady? She sounds like when Britney Spears first cut loose. Is everyone going to be okay?
That was a lot of phlegm.
What the hell was that?
I coughed.
I think that just hit me in the face.
You got to drink some bleach to clean that stuff out.
Yeah, give me one of them cleaning supplies, blizzards, please.
Because juveniles were involved, police said they're limited on what they can say about the situation, but a Wolf County Sheriff's Office spokesperson said they're working with the county attorney to determine what action to take in this case.
That's pretty mean.
That's awful.
Incidents of, we talked about this just yesterday, I think. People getting a little too creative, and it bites them in the ass. Incidents of product tampering can result in felony charges, as in the 2019 case of a mom who allowed her young daughter to lick a tongue depressor at a medical clinic and then put it back. That resulted in a felony charge, which was later reduced to a misdemeanor. The woman was inspired to record a video of the incident due to an online trend of licking consumer products and putting them back for suspecting buyers to take home.
Oh, sure. I remember that. That was just absolutely hilarious.
That was one of the funnier things in a long time.
Yeah.
Then there was the so-called sushi terrorism arrests. After several videos went viral of pranksters in Japan licking utensils and soy sauce bottles, rubbing saliva on the conveyor belt, leading to multiple arrests.
Sure. You're bringing back some great memories there, Josh.
Yeah, I miss those bits.
Social media is always so funny. It just comes up with the best stuff. And you can't resist it. If you want to be cool, you got to go along with that stuff.
A Nebraska man walked into a convenience store early Tuesday and demanded money, holding the clerk at Hostess cinnamon rolls point. Fearing the cinnamon roll container concealed a weapon and not individually wrapped iced pastries, the clerk handed over cash. While speaking with the police, the 24-year-old attempted to flee on foot but was quickly detained. A subsequent search turned up 4.1 grams of meth And it turned out he did have a gun, baffling investigators on why he thought the sight of a cinnamon roll box would be more intimidating than the gun he had on him. Maybe it was the meth. I don't know. Maybe he just reached for the wrong one and thought, well, I got to go for it now.
Yeah, too late.
Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said the motto on his coffee mug, "You can't fix stupid, you can just cuff it," especially rang true recently when city leaders caught a man breaking into a car during a city leader meeting. According to America's sassiest sheriff, 33-year-old Mark Byram went to the parking lot of the Polk County Government Building about 8 p.m. on the night of the incident while a commission meeting was going on inside and decided to break into a car.
This guy goes into the parking lot and breaks into the assistant city manager's car. One of the city commissioners and the water director for the city saw him in the car.
Judd said one of the commissioners decided to approach the man after grabbing a deputy to assist him.
There's a deputy inside guarding the meeting, and he gets out of the car, asks him for a lighter, and then gets back in the car.
Judd said Byram told the deputy he was in the car because it was his vehicle and presented the men with the owner's manual as proof. He stole the owner's manual of the car, Judd stated. Did you hear what I said? You can't fix stupid, you can just cuff it. Judd said Byram also had a syringe with meth in his pocket, so again, maybe it was the meth.
Yeah.
No, my car. This is my manual.
There it says Honda Civic. This is a Honda Civic. This is my car.
You're the stupid one.
An Uber driver in Florida is facing charges after he tried to sell mushrooms and LSD to passengers he was taking to a conference. And he might have gotten away with it if only his passengers weren't on their way to attend the annual Florida Narcotics Officers Association conference, and if only his passengers weren't undercover narcotics investigators attending said conference.
That's just terrible luck.
That is very, very bad luck.
Hitting you at the wrong time.
The driver, identified as 52-year-old John Alcott, smelled like marijuana when detectives from the Citrus County Sheriff's Office got into his vehicle, so they began chatting with him, looking for information. The man said he had some mushrooms for sale and then opened his glove compartment, revealing a large bag of them. A plan was then developed to conduct an undercover purchase from Alcott the following day. He sold investigators mushrooms and LSD for about $1,000, and during the purchase, he told detectives he'd be willing to mail more. Detectives remained in contact with Alcott. They did an investigation for several months to try and bring down any type of drug ring before finally arresting him last week.
He's probably pretty regretful, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
That's a lot of money for that stuff.
It was a lot of mushrooms and LSD. Yeah, he sold a lot, and that's why they decided, well, let's just keep this guy on the hook a little bit here because he's got access to a lot of drugs.
And your name is?
A naked woman was caught on camera squaring off with another woman that was wielding a spiked club. In a video you can see on 93x.com.
This is like the what's that show again? That you guys like so much with the zombies?
Walking Dead?
Yeah, it sounds like a Walking Dead porno.
Oh, yeah, he does have a club. What is his name?
Negan.
Yeah, Negan is wrapped in barbed wire.
One gal's naked, the other one's swinging a
barbed club. Yeah,
that's a Walking Dead porno movie getting ready to fire up right there.
This is a video you got to see. The naked lady, 2 words, hubba hubba, is obviously on something. Her body language is very bizarre. She's approaching people, getting in the strangest fighting stance I've ever seen.
She's almost like possessed.
Exactly. She's like the way she walks, she's like high-stepping it. It's concerning.
Where does a player see this video of the hubba hubba naked lady who's obviously on something fighting with another lady?
PMops.com. Oh. No, I'm sorry, 93x.com.
93x.com.
In the clip, a svelte, nude, attractive woman with long brown hair, Wapple loves hair, was seen adopting a defensive fighting stance and casually deflecting a spiked club being swung at her by another woman who was clad in sandals and a spandex outfit. What was that?
Sorry.
Was that you?
Sorry, that was the noise of me thinking because I'm trying to access a website.
Oh, all right.
And that's not the easiest thing for me. I really
was
apologize.
Unsettled.
I didn't realize that came out of my mouth.
I thought you were doing like a zombie impression or something.
That was the old dude trying to figure out the internet sound, and I feel like a jackass now.
Oh, you shouldn't. Yeah, it's not easy at times. The clothed woman eventually threw the spiked club at the nude woman, who picked it up as her apparent attacker grabbed a bat. The 2 women dueled for several moments before the naked woman knocked the bat out of the clothed woman's hands and chased her off.
Let go!
This is the you deal with out here on Venice Boardwalk. What the is going on today?
My God. You are out of here. This is crazy.
Not one person intervened, by the way.
This is crazy.
Nobody decided to call 911 or do really anything about it other than film it on their cell phones.
Yeah.
This gal is absolutely 100% in the nude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you see her body, like it's scary the way she's acting. I hope she got some help.
Sorry, an ad just ruined my
stupid ads.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll get there.
It's like a street performance. Like she's doing rhythmic gymnastics.
Yeah, she's in a different world for sure. Neither woman appeared to have suffered injuries, thankfully. No other word on the circumstances behind the very strange standoff.
Yeah, this is different. I'm watching it now, and yeah, she can take her time in putting her clothes back on.
I know. I mean, she's stunning, to say the least.
If I was a woman, that's how I'd want to look naked. Right there, she looks great.
Shoot, I'd be happy looking naked like that as a guy. I mean, she's a specimen. A California woman told police she stole an Amazon worker's van last week because she, quote, just needed to get to San Jose.
Oh.
Palo Alto police received a call just after 3:30 p.m. last Thursday from an Amazon driver who said someone stole his van loaded with undelivered packages. The worker parked the van while making a delivery with the keys in the ignition and the engine running. As he was returning to the vehicle, police said he saw it being driven away. Investigators worked with Amazon dispatchers to live track the stolen van and found the suspect exiting the vehicle after she'd parked at an Amazon facility in San Jose, about 20 miles south of where she stole it. Detectives arrested the 36-year-old who said she just needed to get back to San Jose. No word on why her return to California's third most populous city was so important.
Oh, I bet she has a real high-paying job.
But apparently it was enough to risk her arrest.
She's the CEO of something or another, I would imagine.
You think so?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
She had to get back and go over some corporate announcements of some sort. Let's see.
Important meetings.
A man who worked at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport has pleaded guilty to charges related to recording other men while they were using the bathroom, pooping and peeing and whatnot.
Wonder if I'm in there, Summers.
I never go to the airport, so I know I'm safe. The 37-year-old, he pled guilty and was charged last summer after another man accused him of recording him inside a bathroom stall at MSP. Police then seized his cell phone and found 143 videos of men using employee bathrooms, which appeared to be recorded over a period of 6 months. Court documents show the man started working at the airport in May 2022 and basically immediately started filming the men in bathroom stalls. In other bathroom-related news, a 33-year-old was arrested over the weekend for setting fire to a restaurant bathroom. The man had been at Lola 42 in Boston, 6:35 p.m. Sunday, police said. Staff refused to serve him because of how drunk he was upon arrival, so he threw his water at the bar after being turned away. He then went into the restroom where he engaged in destructive behavior and upon exiting, informed the staff there was a fire in the bathroom. And there was. The fire department found a blaze in the trash can and extinguished it. Police arrested the man, identified as David Gong, outside the restaurant, and David Gong be in some legal trouble for a while. Today is Leap Day. And you could take advantage of the extra day of February we get this year.
I know it's last minute, but I am having an epic Leap Day party this afternoon.
Wow, a daytime party celebrating Leap Day. Sounds fun.
According to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory at the California Institute of Technology, leap year exists in part to keep the months in sync with annual events, including equinoxes and solstices.
Every 4 years, you get a magical extra day.
It's a correction to counter the fact that Earth's orbit isn't precisely 365 days a year. The trip takes about 6 hours longer than that, NASA said. And to recognize the phenomena, some businesses are offering special deals today. The full list of Leap Day deals, along with what each is offering, can be found on 93x.com. But here's some of the participating businesses: Wendy's, Chipotle, Hooters, Insomnia Cookies, Long John Silver's, Noodles & Company, Papa Murphy's, Taco Bell, Great Wolf Lodge, Build-A-Bear, and more have some specials today. Again, 93x.com is your place to see all they're offering.
Those sound like nice deals, but I'm not going to get involved. I'm a Leap Day denier.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
One of those.
Man.
Yep.
If I meet one more Leap Day denier on this flat earth, I'm going to freak the F out. Meanwhile, dozens of leapers are celebrating together on a cruise in the Bahamas, something they also did last leap year, 2020. About 70 people signed up. Many had never met another Leap Day baby before.
They got something to talk about then, don't they?
Yeah, they're all going to get together and have some fun.
That's kind of cute.
That's the ultimate icebreaker right there.
And norovirus, or whatever they call that.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those.
What happened?
Some of those cruises.
It starts leaking poop water everywhere.
Just announced earlier this morning, Cage the Elephant, Monday, August 12th at Target Center. You can listen to 93X every hour today, starting at 9 a.m. for your shot to win, or you can buy tickets, of course, as tickets are on sale next Friday at 10 a.m. Before we get to birthdays, we wanted to send some brother and sisterhood love to delivery driver Jesus and her family. They're going through a tough time as their grandma's experiencing some health troubles. So hope everything, of course, turns out okay. Grandma gets well soon, and you guys are hanging in there as best as possible. I'm sure it's difficult. Best of luck to Jabanize Jesus, who's been on medical leave for a bit, headed to an urgery consultation today. Hope that goes well.
Jabanize?
Jabanize
She jabs
Jesus.
your eyes.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm following this as best I can.
Yep.
We get a new addition to the Brotherhood. I love this. Lil Irish Whiskey Jesus. Welcome to the world. Great news as everything and everyone is happy and healthy. Congratulations to Irish Ironworker Jesus and Mom. Shout out to Frame Electric Jesus and his buddy Strong Shield Jesus. They're heading to Maryland to pick up a car and hoping to have one of those classic buddy-type road trips on the way back to Wisconsin.
Wouldn't that be adorable?
If that happens, please share the stories with us. And it's been 4 years since we've been able to wish the following Leaplings a happy birthday. Happy Leap Day birthdays to Leap Year Jesus, turning 9 in leap years today. To Mike, turning 40 today, or 10 in leap years. And Ace Frontload Jesus texting a happy birthday to his son on his 16th. Good luck on your driver's test this morning, and hope it's a great birthday. That's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
Big time onions. Goodness.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Clark, triple, splash. Clark's deceptively strong, too. She's got muscle memory out the wazoo.
Tonight is the night of the real record. To me, you know, for the AIAW record that Lynette Woodard held, that was the real one. You know, for some reason, the NCAA does not want to recognize the basketball that was played prior to 1982, and that's wrong. We played basketball back then. They just don't want to recognize it, and that hurts the rest of us that were playing at that time. But congratulations to Caitlin for being the true basketball leader in points tonight.
I think it just speaks to the foundation that these players have laid for us to have opportunities to be able to play in environments like this, in front of crowds like this. So I wouldn't have the opportunity to be able to do what I'm doing every single night if it wasn't for people like her. And obviously there's so many great players across the board. So I'm just really thankful and grateful to have those people that have come before me.
Yeah, you're no Lindsay Whalen, but whatever.
Wow.
And here's the ass man. Ready to go, I'm sure. Right, Randy Shaver?
Ready to go.
It was a huge night at the barn last night.
She was amazing. Right out of the gate, right?
33 points and 14. What'd she score? The first 15, 16 points for the Iowegians?
She had a triple-double last night. She had 33 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. Just did everything for Iowa. And if it wasn't a blowout...
It was a close game.
No, I'm just saying, if it wasn't a blowout, she would have passed the record, the Maravich record.
Pistol Pete.
Because she would have...
Stayed on the floor?
Would have been a more competitive game. She probably would have shot the ball even more than she did last night. Yeah.
Okay.
She's impressive.
How many points? How many points away before she passes?
I think she's 17. I think she's 17 away.
Yeah, she'll get that in the first half of her next game.
I think she plays Ohio State on Sunday on national TV.
Right.
That's correct. And Ohio State has a better record. It's going to be there'll be a lot of people watching that game. So.
What was the final last night? How do you call it? The
108 to 60.
It was like a 48-point difference there.
Yeah, it was over in the first quarter.
Well, but you know, I watched a little bit of the highlights, and it looked like there was a hell of a lot of Golden Gopher women's basketball fans who came to the game. Still had a good time. We got text from Iowegians said they're still up drinking. They're partied all night long.
Yeah, I mean. Iowa travels well. Both men's and women's basketball fans travel well. Number one, obviously closer venue than most for them to travel. But she's such a phenomenon that you're going to get the casual basketball fan to come to pay the money to come watch her play too, and likely bring their daughter or their granddaughter with them. because that's the crowd that she attracts right now. So
she'll set the all-time men and women scoring record in the first half of her next game, likely in the first half, if it's only 17 points.
Well, she should do it in this game, yes.
Against Ohio State.
It'll be a very competitive game, obviously, because both teams are really good. So I would expect that she'd be on the floor the entire game.
I mentioned earlier that my Timberwolves, they had to fight like hell to beat the mostly junior varsity lineup that the Memphis Grizzlies put out. But I gotta say, Memphis, okay, Jaren Jackson Jr. was out there.
Yeah, he's good.
33 points and 13 rebounds. He's a regular starter for the Grizzlies, and he's very good. But they didn't have that silly Ja Morant guy playing, no Desmond Bain, no Mark Smart. But I got to say, their JV guys are pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, they've had a lot of playing time this year.
Yeah.
So you can tell that the experience that the two Williams are getting, Zaire and, I'm sorry if it's Vince, I think it's Vince Williams Jr.,
I think you got it right.
Those two guys have gotten a lot of playing time this year. I think Goodwin is actually pretty new for them, and Aldama has been on the roster all year, and he gets regular playing time.
Yeah. When they get all their guys back, Memphis should be a pretty good ball club.
Yeah, it's not going to happen this year.
No, not this year. But Wolves won by 9.
They're the best team in the West as we start the month of March tomorrow, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think last night's win secures 3 consecutive winning seasons for the Timberwolves, where they've had winning records 3 years in a row.
There you go. Anthony Edwards scored 34 points, as he always does. Naz Reid, who I discovered long before anybody else did, dumped in 19 points off the bench. Carl was back in the mid. It wasn't pretty, but it worked out. They were down 14-0 to start the game.
Yeah.
You know that gimmick at Target Center they do now where you can't sit down till the Wolves get a bucket?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Folks were cooked.
Yeah.
It took them 4 minutes to get a damn basket, but they got it going eventually.
Well, they just wanted to see how loyal the fans were going to be.
Yeah.
Now, Sacramento comes to town tomorrow night, and Wolves and the Sacramento Kings always have great ball games.
Yeah, it should be good. Sacramento's playing a little bit better. De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis and those guys, they're a pretty good club. So,
did you have anything on your mind, Randy Shaver, about the passing? Speaking of the NBA, Richard Lewis, the comic who passed away a day or two ago at 76 years old.
Damn funny.
We've been talking up and down about Richard Lewis today. He was a massive NBA fan. I remember seeing him.
He was part of a promo, an NBA promo.
Yeah, he was part of that whole I love this game.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, God. You didn't happen to record that, did you, Josh?
The I love this game thing? No,
Richard,
but I can grab it.
It's really funny, too, what he says. I mean, of course, he was a brilliant comic. Richard Lewis passed away, in case someone hadn't heard yet. We've talked about him this morning. He had a great promo from the early 90s that I saw online yesterday where he's, as usual, very funny, leading up to when he dumps the line at the end of the promo, I love this game. I think that was their line at the time.
Yep.
Richard Lewis was a big NBA fan, I guess. Growing up in New York, he was very loyal to the New York Knickerbockers and to I can't remember if he was a Yankees or a Mets guy. But Josh and I were talking earlier about how we started seeing Richard Lewis in the early 80s on the Letterman Show and the Tonight Show. And then the younger audience got introduced to the guy on that program, one of the many programs
Curb
where
Your Enthusiasm.
I never saw it, but Curb Your Enthusiasm. Too bad, because he was... what were the lines we were talking about earlier, Josh? He played that perfect, neurotic, anxious character who had zero self-confidence and second-guessed his own every move. He's so paranoid, even on his stationary exercise bike, he has a rear-view mirror.
Yes.
And now I can't remember the other lines we already dumped out this morning. He had a therapist for a while, Randy Shaver, but he quit because he thought that his therapist was trying to help him behind his back. I mean, he just had some stuff, some wildly original stuff. He was an all-timer. Maybe you can find that NBA promo because it's very, very funny.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here.
Until then, did you guys all see my new favorite singer?
Is your singer 8?
Yes. This gal who sang the Canadian and American national anthem at the Indiana Pacers game the other night. This is my new favorite singer. I will buy her first record on day one.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in our lovers command.
We're just getting started.
With glowing hearts we see the rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Bring it home, girl.
Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And she put just as much passion into our national anthem. You got to see the video. This gal sings her effing heart out, and I'm telling you, if she releases a record, I'm buying it. Kinsley Murrah is the gal's name, 8-year-old girl who sang the anthems at the Indiana Pacers game the other night. I thought it was absolutely awesome.
Well, that's fabulous.
She's got to be brave to do that, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
impressive.
A lot of self-confidence.
The look on her face.
That's what I was going to say. Her facial expressions are awesome. It really adds a lot if you're watching it.
I don't know. You guys know me. I don't normally get too wound up in all that cutesy kid stuff. I generally don't like kids at all. But
That's true.
This gal, you got to see her pump both those anthems out because she friggin' rules. I know I'm gonna do this again, and the majority of people are gonna have no idea what I'm talking about. And it kind of surprises me that so many people just forgot about this. The little girl who sang the national anthem before Game 7 of the 1991 World Series was one of the coolest, greatest things I've ever seen at a ball game. And no one, I don't remember
that.
I guess I understand. It was Game 7, the Braves and Twins. It was one of the greatest World Series ever played. There are so many things that you do remember from that series that, by process of elimination, you forget. I remember the last time I brought this up, there were a few people who texted in and said, hell yes, I remember that little girl. She was incredible. If I remember right, players couldn't help it. They were just smiling ear to ear. Some of them were tearing up. If you can look that up, do it. I remember it like it was yesterday. Just this tiny little girl sang her ass off.
Hey, if you don't mind going back to Canada, can you tell me maybe, I don't know, your top 2 things that you love about Canada? You've talked a lot about your love of Canada. Maybe some things you just really enjoy.
The things that I love about Canada.
You've told the accent you've done before.
I love the accent in Canada. Oi, mate! All that stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. I wish I could come off like that. Other than that, I'd say like some of the wildlife.
Like what specific?
The snakes and the koala bears.
The koala bears,
and I love that movie, Crocodile Dundee. That's about a Canadian man walking around the woods with a reporter. He goes to New York, and he has no idea what's going on. He's such a fish out of water when he goes to New York.
Favorite band out of Canada? I thought you recently saw them.
AC/DC. Or Air Supply. Golden Gopher dudes, again, they proved they can hang with some great teams. They shot the ball really well for the most part in last night's game at the University of Illinois, but Randy Shaver, they could have used a few defensive stops.
Yeah,
Illinois scored 105 points.
Yeah.
In a Big Ten college basketball game. Number
That's
13.
too bad. The Gophers really needed that game, and they played really well in the first half, but just did not have enough to finish last night. And
Illinois is 13th in the country for a reason.
Yep.
They score a lot of points in
very
general.
balanced team. They do a lot of things well. Yeah, last night the Gophers just kind of ran out of gas.
They did. They ran out of gas. Their bench was for jack squat. The bench.
Yeah, pretty non-existent.
You know, the starting five, everyone went into double figures in scoring. The bench didn't help out.
Well, part of the problem is the bench I think they took one shot between four guys who came off the bench last night. I mean,
that's not going to help. Yeah.
And Braden Carrington didn't even take a shot.
That's not going to help
in the game last night. So.
Well, both teams shot well. It was an entertaining game. Gophers lose by 9.
Yeah, think about this. The Gophers shoot 60% from the field, 70% from three-point stripe, and lose the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And have only 5 turnovers and lose the game. That's too bad.
Next up, they'll play at home against Penn State. Jimmy Butler has brought back his emo Jimmy character.
Love it. Cannot get enough of it.
For, do I have this right? A music video by a band called Fall Out Boy?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing back do you remember the emo Jimmy character,
yes.
Randy Shaver?
Oh, yes.
So funny.
I like it too.
Yeah.
So last year, or was it this year? He shows up this season.
Media Day.
Yeah, Media Day.
He shows up at the Miami Heat Media Day with they call it here a relaxed perm. Well, that's just straight hair. There's no perm. But maybe I don't know hairdo references. He's wearing eyeliner. He's got multiple facial piercings, and he earned himself the nickname Emo Jimmy. Apparently, if you go to NBA.com and you look up Jimmy Butler
on the roster, yes,
his profile picture, doing.
That is correct.
He's doing the bit. He's got the wig on, and
because that's the picture that we took on Media Day. So
right.
That's what they use.
And I love it too on all the betting sites and stuff. That's his photo too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Such a good marketing tactic.
So yesterday, the pop punk band Fall Out Boy, who, according to the article, who Emo Jimmy looks like he would listen to, they released a music video, a song called So Much for Stardust, and it features a dancing Emo Jimmy in his full emo outfit. If you love the bit, sounds like you guys like the bit, you got to check out the music video. What were the other jokes that went around about his emo look? People were calling him Heat Wentz.
That's good.
So who is that a reference to?
Pete Wentz. He plays bass in Fall Out Boy.
In Fall Out Boy, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a funny look. Jimmy does have a good sense of humor. I'll say it again, and only you older folks will understand this, like a lot of things that I reference. His Emo Jimmy character looks just like the lead singer. God dang it, what was the band? But they sang the song, You Don't Have to Take Your Clothes Off to Have a Good Time.
Oh, that was big.
What was his name? Jermaine, someone find the answer for me. You don't have to take your clothes off.
Jermaine Stewart?
Stewart, yes. Exactly. If you watch the video for that song, that's exactly what Jimmy looks like. Pigs play in Tennessee tonight, 7 o'clock, against the Predators, right? That's one of the clubs. Game. It's one of the clubs that's above them in the standings.
I think they play twice, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Yeah, so this is this little stretch right here is going to be critical for the Wild tonight.
7 o'clock on Bally Sports North. Okay, they play the Predators. Someone has texted into the program, Man Purse Jesus says the singer for Game 7 of the 1991 World Series was a gal named Jacqueline Jaquez, and she's now a musician in Dallas.
Oh, interesting.
I'm telling you, if you can find that video, God, it was so great. Not to completely sidetrack where we were, but also a Twins-related note. I think we found this out yesterday. Denard Span is going to be part of the broadcast team for Twins baseball television broadcast.
Yeah, they now have 6 different analysts lined up for television to work with Corey Propus.
Okay, can you give us all 6 of them?
Well, let's see. Off the top of my head,
Jack Morris.
No.
No.
Paul Molitor.
Justin
Morneau,
of course.
Glenn Perkins.
LaTroy Hawkins, Glenn Perkins,
All right.
Plouffe, and Spann.
And Denard Spann.
I thought Smalley was a part of that too.
Yeah, Smalley's in there too.
Stuart
he is?
Smalley?
No,
Yes.
Roy Smalley.
So that's more than 6. Am I right? Am I right or not?
Sorry, no, I'm sure. No, you that's more than 6 if we include Stuart Smalley.
Okay.
I was just laughing at the Stuart
I think
Smalley joke just because it's such a great story.
Does he just do the studio, or is he an analyst for the game?
I remember Roy being Stuart, whatever you want to call him,
He
being
has.
an
He's
analyst
done it
for
in the past.
Yeah. No Jack Morris?
I don't think so.
Jack
fair
Morris
enough.
is not on the list.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I don't think so.
I'll get over it. Again, we know a little kid who teased Roy Smalley many years ago by walking up saying, "Hey, I recognize you." And Roy Smalley said, "Well, I bet you do, because back in the day I played." And the kid goes, "Smalley, right?" And Roy said, "Well, you got it right. For a young kid, you know your stuff." And the kid said, "Stuart Smalley, right?" It's a great bit. By the way, we were talking about hockey. The Pigs have a game tonight. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line. No one handled this already, did they?
Nope. We're
right
good to
now
go.
on the
All
Luther
you.
Bloomington Kia text line, text STICKS, STICKS. Text STICKS to 651-989-9393 for a shot to win tickets to the Pigs and the Sharks Sunday at the XL Energy Center. And we thank the Minnesota Wild for hooking us up. Good luck. Go see the game on Sunday. Sticks. Now that makes me think of
the band.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Well, it made me think of music, Randy, but a different kind of music. Of course, Styx, the Chicago prog rock band that's been around for 50 years. But I was thinking of the drummer for Steel Panther. I believe his name is Styx Zadinia.
Yeah, Styx Zadinia. That's who I thought at first too. He's a talented drummer.
Oh boy.
He's not that great of a drummer.
Oh, he's a great drummer.
STICKS is what we're looking for. I see now that Randy brought it up, people are texting in the band spelling.
Right, exactly.
But here's one that's got 3 X's. Here's STICJKS. This is one of my favorite bits, watching people, dicks, a lot of people text in.
Yeah, I did. Wasn't it clear that I said sticks?
It is, but it's a fun bit that people have.
I know it is. It is. It's a lot of laughs.
Some get foul.
Do you have a favorite song by Styx, Randy Shaver?
No.
Okay, you don't?
Really? I like the band, obviously.
Okay, Wapple.
Had them at my event, but yeah.
I remember when they were at your event, your charity event, we had a riot.
That's the first concert my kids had ever been to, my older kids, that Styx show.
Josh and I were up in the bleachers, and we were dancing our ass. Wapple, you reacted quite surprised that Randy doesn't have a favorite Styx song, so why don't you dump yours on us?
Ooh, Renegade.
Dude!
I love that song.
Yeah. The news
That's probably my favorite, too.
Found me.
I got to go Blue Collar Man.
That's a great one.
Great one.
Yeah.
What about Too Much Time on My Hands?
No,
you don't like that one?
I've never liked that one. I've been burned out on that one since I was about a 4th grader.
What about Mr. Roboto?
Oh, I love the whole Mr. Roboto album. But I got to go Blue Collar Man or The Grand Illusion.
Oh, yeah.
The Grand Me
good.
Running Sideways Illusion is one of the most beautiful songs.
So good.
Come Sail Away?
That
fan?
beginning.
Not a fan?
Overplayed.
Yeah, it is overplayed.
I love it,
It's a
though.
good one, though.
Grand Illusion.
Great song.
Just
A
remember.
lot of great songs, right?
When
Yeah.
your life is complete confusion. I'm glad we got through that. Back to the Pigs. They say they have no plans to trade Marc-Andre Fleury, so kiss his ass goodbye.
No.
They're not going to do that.
There was a hockey game the other night between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. One of the referees didn't realize that his mic was live, and he just dumped a big, fat F-bomb on everybody.
Hagel needed to find Nick Paul in the slot, and he rips it past Sam Harrison.
We're alive or we're not alive? Yeah, the official's clearly not aware that their mic is open.
Clearly.
That was the ref who just said, F me. He was really impressed by this goal, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a pretty goal by one of the two clubs. It doesn't matter. And the referee goes, F me. He had never seen anything quite
I
like
love when they have them mic'd up.
Well, some folks in our listeners like Lady. Yes, Lady is a great song by Styx. Crystal Ball, Sweet Madam Blue, Don't Let It End. Haven't we been here before? Babe, Well, welcome to the big leagues, Justin Jefferson. Word is he's looking at a lawsuit from a woman who claims he's the father of her child.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
I didn't see that.
Welcome to the big leagues.
A few places. Larry Brown Sports, ESPN, Sports Illustrated.
Oh, no. Yes, this is his ex-girlfriend, a gal he went to school with at LSU.
Oh, okay.
She claims he made a baby with her, and so she wants this to happen, and he says this, and she says that, and on and on and on. God dang it.
Well,
it's going to happen.
Got to take care of business.
Yeah.
You do. You're right.
Some of these guys should wrap it up, once or twice. Put a lid on that damn thing. Right, Randy?
That would be my recommendation.
If I could say just one thing.
I would recommend.
I'll tell you what. Welcome to the stinking big leagues. Now you got that going on.
Some people are saying Come Sail Away by Styx is good, but they prefer the Eric Cartman version.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It aggravated the hell out of me. That was before I liked South Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It did? It bothered you?
I could not stand South Park at first. I couldn't stand it. And the number one reason why I couldn't stand it is because I could not understand a word that Cartman was saying.
He does have a certain way
I always
he
thought
talks,
Kenny was tough to understand as well.
Yeah. Have you noticed in the newer episodes they make it more clear with Kenny?
Yes,
now?
I have noticed that.
I kind of don't like that. I liked not being able to understand a single thing that came out of his mouth.
This could be the liquor talking, but I really think that after a few years, I must not have been the only swinging D complaining about not being able to understand Cartman, because after a few years, he became easier to understand.
They got better with their voice acting as time went on.
You think that's all it was? Was just voice acting? It could be. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't follow it. I thought it was dumb. Come on.
It's not rocket cheeses. I feel the same as you. She said, I can't listen to Come Sail Away anymore thanks to Cartman. Yeah, that's all I think about, too.
This has got to be one of the dumbest NFL-related things going these days, where the Players Association looks into each ball club and gives out a report card on how well the players are being treated by their teams.
I think it has a lot to do with the facilities of the teams and things like that.
Here's exactly what all 32 teams are polled, all their players, and the teams get letter grades in regard to 11 categories, okay? And these are the categories. Treatment of families, the food at the cafeteria, the level of expertise of their nutritionists and dietitians, the locker room conditions, training room, training staff, weight room. Jesus, what do they want? Someone to hold your pecker when you take a leak, too? Who effing cares? Go to work, do your job, you make a lot of money, be happy. But they sit and grade, the training staff did come up a little short. What is this crap?
I think it is a big factor when it comes to free agency.
It does. It is.
What?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Same thing with
if you were a Viking, if you were a potential free agent, and you were walking into Minnesota at the old facility out there at Eden Prairie, which in its day was probably state of the art, but man, near the end, it was a dump. And then you walk into what's built now out at Egan, it's night and day. Who wouldn't want to train and work in that environment as opposed to someplace else that just doesn't quite have all the amenities?
Are you guys nuts or something? It's about money.
It's about money too, but it's also about...
These guys are such coddled bastards.
It's also about having all of the things that you need to help you be successful, but also make you comfortable, too.
Listen to this. The Kansas City Chiefs ranked dead last in the league per this survey. And listen to this. And I'm sorry. Brace yourselves, because this is terrible. Here's one example of why they were ranked last. The team was promised a renovated locker room, but when they returned this season, after winning the Super Bowl, only new chairs were added. Oh, God, no. Oh, my God. And then I go to the bank and I've only got $400 million in there? How am I supposed to live? This is crap.
But it's the same thing with college kids in recruiting these days. They want those practice facilities, those amenities, all those things.
Even the new jerseys.
You're believing a lot of BS. It's money. You're believing too much BS.
What would it be like to work in an underwhelming facility where there's absolutely nothing that functions as it should? Everything's disgusting. The carpet looks like a murder
What would that be like?
Right.
But you're promised
but you know what,
improvements.
though?
It never happens.
It makes you so much better to be able to overcome all the obstacles.
I never considered that.
Think about that for a second, Josh.
That's a good point.
That proves my point. This place is
proves
garbage.
your worth, right?
This proves my point. This place is garbage. Why are we all here? Because we get paid massive amounts of money.
Yes, everyone knows that about radio.
Yes.
And then this is weird, too. Tyreek Hill, the wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, is being accused of some weird stuff. He's being accused of breaking a lady's leg after she humiliated him during a backyard football game.
Oh, God.
This is the story being told. This is the story going around. He was playing football with some family and friends. This gal friend of his is over there who just happens to be a model and an influencer.
Wow, double, both, huh?
Okay, so keep that in mind. She's not just anybody. And I guess she showed him up somehow playing football. So he pushed her, according to the story, and she severely fractured her leg.
Oh, my gosh.
Spaz?
Can you say lawsuit?
Oh, man, I'd imagine so. Settlement?
That'd be the only fun part.
This lady, the model, what's the fun part?
That would be the only fun part. Yes,
Are you saying the money?
I guess you're probably correct.
Are you saying that money is the overwhelming factor?
That would be the first thing that went through my head as I was soaring towards the ground.
I know a sexy guy who was just making that point a couple minutes ago. Money is the overwhelming factor.
Oh, man.
You'll even take a broken leg for some money.
Yeah.
This is terrible what they're accusing what's his nuts of. What's his name again?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. They say this lady, this model, says that he charged at her and shoved her violently with great force.
Wow.
She had to have some hardware put into her leg. She posted a video of herself on crutches.
That's gotta hurt.
This guy's got a lot on his plate.
Oh, yeah,
he does.
Dealing with like a couple accusations as far as, hey, you knocked me up. No, you knocked me up. That
He
kind of
had
thing.
that fire at his house.
What were you saying about Justin Jefferson? Welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah.
I think this guy's the leader in the clubhouse.
Send Justin Jefferson a link to the legal issues section of Tyreek Hill's Wikipedia page. And just be like, hey, man, just read this and think about it when you are making big decisions in the future.
That's crazy. The Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets, I guess they're a pretty solid rivalry in the National Football League. Recently, someone sat down to interview a member of the Buffalo Bills who goes by the name of Dion Dawkins, and he said some things that would lead you to believe he doesn't like the New York Jets very much.
I hate them. All of them, bro. When it comes to sports, right? There's people that play the sport because they love the sport, and then there's people that play the sport just to try to be cool. I feel like they play the sport to try to be cool. Like, those are a bunch of dudes that just want to take pictures on Instagram. Like, that's whack. Like, I play this because I'll die by it.
He doesn't like them. Called them weirdos in there somewhere. Did we hear that?
That wasn't in that clip.
Okay,
but
he called them
did.
weirdos. Said they're all just out there to look cool or to be cool.
Wow.
He also called a member of the New York Jets, specifically called him a bitch boy. Michael Clemens of the New York Jets, he says, is a bitch boy.
Oh, I was going to say, what did Roger say to that? But sorry.
A lot of folks seem to think that the Chicago Bears starting quarterback the last couple of years, a kid named Justin Fields, a lot of folks, they say he's about to be traded to the Atlanta Falcons.
Ooh.
Rumors are running buck-ass wild, Randy Shaver.
Yeah.
One less spot for Kirk to go.
I mean, they've got to make a decision, fairly soon about what his future is because they hold the number one pick, and speculation is that they will keep the pick and take a quarterback. So,
God dang it, I was hoping that What's-His-Nuts would go there. What's his name again? You guys, he's so funny because he's
Kirk
so.
Cousins.
You're right, he's so dorky and funny.
Go to Atlanta?
Yeah, or anywhere.
Okay.
Keep an eye on your attractive aunt. The New York Jets have given the MILF man, Zach Wilson, permission to seek a trade. Wherever he ends up, you know he's going to lay some serious pipe, right, Cubby?
That's the rumor.
If you're
That's why you guys the name the MILF man.
If your attractive aunt goes missing, there's a good chance because the MILF man signed a contract to play football in her neighborhood.
Oh, man.
I'd like to see him come over here and play football for the Vikings. I would.
Yeah. You love the guy.
I do.
That'd be hilarious seeing those reports. Bev was taken out in Miami. Is Zach Wilson going to Miami?
Bev, is that your aunt?
Actually, yeah, it is one of my aunts.
Oh, you putting in a good word for Bev, are you?
I like you quickly needed a name, so you just use your own aunt's name.
Yeah. You guys see the video footage of these friggin' Germans? They're always a problem. Over there in Germany, they're playing football on ice.
Yeah.
And
I think that's up on our website.
Yep.
They broadcast an ice football game over there in Germany before the Super Bowl played on television over there this year. They broadcast a game of Germans playing football on ice. They're not wearing skates. And it's set up like an arena football thing. It's an ice rink, and they're playing football on an ice rink. Like arena football does, but without the ice.
Yeah, I've seen this.
And they paint yard lines on the on the ice. Take a look at it. Guys playing football on ice. Some folks really liked it.
Yeah, we used to do that when I was growing up as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
We used to play on the driveway, after you get ice and a nice snow mix. And that was part of the field. That was part of the fun, is trying to keep your balance. When we play touch football on the ice like that. Good way to crack your head open.
Yeah, when we were grade school kids, that was when you'd get on the phone and call your buddies to come over and play football, is when the winter conditions were at their worst.
Yes.
That was the most fun.
Yeah, because we grew up watching it like that, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I grew up a Vikings fan, and that's the kind of weather the Vikings played in.
You could pretend you were at Old Metropolitan Stadium, and you were Dave Osborne.
Yeah, and then there'd be a bunch of snow and stuff, and you'd make plays where you would dive for the football.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So check it out. Football on ice. They're playing it in Germany. Some folks think it's fun. In the video that is spreading around godless social media, there's some long rushing touchdowns you can watch. One player gave the middle finger to the opposing team while he was running down the ice to score an ice touchdown.
That's awesome.
Impressive.
Love that.
Would have been funny if you just went just ass over kettle, though, while taunting him.
I did that playing youth hockey. I was pretty proud of myself. There were these three coaches on this opposite club, and I couldn't stand them because they looked like Duran Duran. They were very fashionable, had beautiful hair. They really did look like Duran Duran, and I thought that was wrong. This is hockey. You don't show up to coach a game looking like Duran Duran. And their team sucked. So I scored a lot of points against their team, and after I was 14. I scored, of course, a gorgeous goal, and I skated by their bench, and I took one of my gloves off, and I gave them the finger.
That's got to feel pretty good.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
especially at that age.
My mother was not pleased with me.
No.
But they all looked at me as if to say, what's the problem? And in the end, I got to know them. They were very nice. I did feel some regret. What's going on here? Now, it's so many things going on that I don't understand. Shohei Ohtani, what the hell's his name again?
Shohei Ohtani?
He announced that he upped and got married.
He did?
What dude in his right mind gets married right after they hand you $700 million? Is he nuts or something?
It's keeping it a secret.
He's been keeping it a secret for a long time?
He said he's going to talk more about it tomorrow in an interview.
Okay.
His wife is from Japan. Sounds like they both they've known each other for a while.
Yeah, he wrote on Instagram, the season is approaching, but I would like to announce to everyone that I have gotten married.
Yep.
That's, like Randy Shaver said, it says right here his new wife is a Japanese woman. He did not identify her. That doesn't narrow it down much.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
We should find out more tomorrow.
It says here, aside from...
care.
If we care. Or there's people who will. Oh, my God, they're going to follow this.
Will. Yeah, he's in L.A. Of course.
It says right here, aside from Mr. Big, Ohtani is Japan's biggest celebrity.
You know, Paul Gilbert, the guitar player of Mr. Big, married a Japanese woman.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Shohei's just copying.
I find Japanese women to be very attractive. Very attractive.
Can't argue that one.
I couldn't stop watching them. What's that silly sport that we all pretended to like for a while because some guys from Minnesota were good at it?
Curling?
Curling, right. I could not stop watching the Japanese women's team at the last Olympics, their curling team. I couldn't stop watching them. I fell in love with every one of them. Randy Shaver, have you looked into your favorite potential fantasy baseball players for the upcoming season? You have.
Are you kidding?
You've been doing all kinds of...
I am not even going to tell you how many leagues I'm in.
Oh, man.
You sick son of a bitch.
Time for the intervention.
Not going to even tell you.
You've been researching for months.
I have had quite a few drafts already. Yes.
Okay.
Would you tell us an over-under, like if we threw a number up there?
Okay, well, hold on. Let me get to the website so I can count them.
Oh, man, it's going to take a while to load.
Exactly.
He's a degenerate.
I'm in the process of 3 drafts right now, slow drafts.
Okay. Well, while you're counting this up, I'll just tell you this. Fantasy baseball. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going with 19.
That's where you're setting the number? Over? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Give us your answer then.
Over.
It's over 19. Separate baseball fantasy teams?
Correct.
I was going to say 25. Are you comfortable saying over or under on that?
Let me count them up here. Hold on.
Gosh, let's get a calculator out.
How many are you allowed to have?
That's an over, Josh.
Wow. Over 25.
Yeah, but some of them I don't. You just draft and you're done.
Ashley
so
wants
you don't have to take care of them.
Ashley wants to know if there's a law against this. She said, how many are you allowed to have?
No, you can just have as many as you want.
Are you going to turn them in, Narc?
Hello, fantasy baseball cops?
So here's the deal.
It's my way of doing research on players that maybe I would never pay attention to.
Yeah.
This is one of the... I love doing this because it keeps me in the know about players that are out there that, like I said, I would probably never pay attention to.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that, junkie.
Come on.
Do you have any cute names for any of the teams?
I do.
Okay.
Let's see here. R.F. Baggy. You know where that comes from. Right field Baggy.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. It took
from
me
the Metrodome.
Sure.
Circle Me Bert.
Good one.
Pepitone Hair Dryer.
Oh God, that's a reference to who was that player?
Joe Pepitone was the first professional athlete to ever have a hair dryer in his locker.
Right.
That's a fact.
And he was gorgeous. I remember
he was. He had long hair. He played for the Cubs. He played for the Yankees. Yeah.
He had gorgeous hair.
Just some other ones. Kitty Cott. Bye Jorge.
Jorge, who's that a reference
Polanco.
to? Oh, Jesus, that's cold-blooded.
Yeah, bye Jorge.
USA Today stacked up their 9 best fantasy baseball team names that they can print. That's the problem.
Yes.
They got to eliminate the dirty stuff.
Sure.
So let me just throw a few punny names that they found on the internet. The references, you'll need to help me out. Tis the Bohm season.
That's the Alec Bohm from the Philadelphia Phillies.
No, I understand that reference,
but
I'm
sorry.
Tis the Bohm season?
I didn't get it either.
Okay, fair enough. Soto Baggins.
Frodo Baggins.
That's funny.
You got, what's his name, Soto playing for the Yankees? Juan Soto. The good, the bad, and the Adley.
Adley Rushman, the catcher for Baltimore.
Right. Oh, I got it. I'll get it. Oh, bye-bee. Bye-bye-bee. Oh, bye-bee.
That's a good one.
For
Tanner Bybee, the pitcher.
And that's a reference to the old Salt and Pepper song, I think.
That's
Push
a
It.
good one, actually.
Yep. Is it Push It? Reese's Pieces. Reese Hoskins. Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Reese Hoskins.
Yep.
So this will be Reese Pieces. Okay. Translucent Pants. That's
my gosh, that's a reference to the uniform.
Yeah.
Current event reference.
Overall reference to how the uniforms are see-through.
I saw somebody in a draft that I was in. Their name was Peekaboo Pants.
You've got Go Strider.
Oh, Spencer Strider. Champagne Super Nola. That's good.
A reference to Aaron Nola, the pitcher for the Phillies. Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's good.
Oh,
I like that.
Jackson Cheerios.
Jackson Churio plays for the Brewers, right?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that they could print for us, but the nasty stuff.
I like those.
You can find a website out there with the nasty stuff. Those are pretty good.
I kept a baseball note, Nick, just before we because I wanted to mention it. I saw something yesterday about a freshman college baseball player.
Yes.
From Georgia Tech, who hit 4 home runs in one game on 4 swings.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
I actually saw it yesterday.
Oh, you did?
We meant to get to it, but then I got caught up, and Josh and I started fondling each other. What?
And not only that, but he has 9 home runs on the season in 7 games.
Jesus
and
Christ!
He's a true freshman.
Oh, wow. Man,
but he had 4 home runs in a game, which is impressive enough, but he did it on only 4 swings.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit. I think we talked about it off air. We never got around to it, but that's
crazy.
Incredibly impressive. That'll get you served underage at the neighborhood bars on your college campus.
I don't think I have even seen that in Little League.
Yeah, 4 home runs on 4 swings. I'm racking my brain, too, for something I can compare to it, and I'm not coming up with jack
you would think after you give up 3 home runs on 3 pitches, you'd throw the guy a ball.
How about we walk the guy?
Yeah. How about if we buzz the tower one time just to let him know that we're not going to let him hit it on the first pitch?
1-2, high drive. Does it have enough? To the track. To the wall! There it goes! History for Burris! A 4-home run game! It's never been done in Georgia Tech! Touch them all, Drew Burris! You've made history!
Drew?
I touch them all. That's John Gordon.
Yeah, you can't say touch them all.
You can't do that.
And before we go, we mourn the passing of another WWF star that I'm sure most of us enjoyed watching years ago, Virgil. Otherwise known, his real name was Michael Jones. On television, he portrayed the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's bodyguard, Virgil. Died a day or 2 ago. He was only 61. He had some bad health issues. He had several strokes. He was diagnosed with dementia in recent years. He had a tough go. Virgil is gone.
I absolutely loved that belt. That looked so cool.
The $1 Million Belt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Don't they still bring that around once in a while? Or am I seeing things? I thought they still would drag out the $1 Million Belt now and again.
I feel like it's only when Ted DiBiase's around. He kind of carries it. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, old Virgil. He won a match at WrestleMania. He turned on Ted DiBiase and beat him at WrestleMania.
Mania moment.
Proving... What was DiBiase's slogan?
Every man has his price?
Yeah, proving that not every man has his price. So rest in peace to Virgil. Yeah, we watched him all the time when we were young guys. All right, Randy Shaver. Nice work, son.
Tomorrow's a big day.
What's going to be happening tomorrow?
Well, it's March 1st.
Yeah.
So we've made it through winter.
Oh.
Not much of a winter.
No.
But we made it through.
Yeah.
And the spanking will continue.
Oh, yes.
Oh, sure.
Dad fights beating you've been laying on Brad Ryder.
The spanking will continue. I've kind of sandbagged Brad. I let him get out in front, let him think he's got a chance, and then I storm back.
Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to that.
Dad spanks 160.
Yep.
Let's go for a flawless victory tomorrow, Randy.
A flawless victory?
Yeah.
Meaning he sweeps?
Just completely sweeps him.
Brad doesn't get even one answer?
Yeah.
Correct? Hey, that's everyone's got to have a goal, and that can be your goal tomorrow,
right.
Randy.
That's
all right,
right.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show.
Laird Hamilton, welcome to the show, man.
The truth about a good surfer is ultimately that you understand waves. You're actually a wave reader. I could go to the beach, we're watching a wave come in, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that guy's going to crash.
Is that intuition or is that learned?
Yes, the learned becomes intuition. When you have that much volume of experience, it goes into the unconscious.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
They want to glorify the fact that they're criminals. It's dumb. These guys are dumb. They deserve to be tossed under the jail just for being dumb.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it ain't over yet. Hell no, it ain't over. We got a little ways to go yet here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. A little ways to go. Thanks very much for dialing in. What did we give away a little earlier? Hockey tickets, right?
Wild tickets.
A game at the X?
That's where they're playing it.
Did this throw anybody else yesterday? Did you see this headline and it threw you at first? I saw this on my email, my electronic mail. I'm guessing you got the same one.
You checked your mail? That's what's throwing me so far.
Electronic mail?
Yeah.
I looked at it yesterday.
Whoa.
Yeah. I do it, I don't know, once every couple, 3 months.
It's usually when you get locked out, right? As soon as you realize, oh, I should have logged in.
Then I got to work like hell to get back into it. So I'm tuned into emails for at least a day or two here. This is the headline that grabbed me. Cigarettes after sex at XL Energy Center, September 24th. Did you guys get that same electronic mail?
Yes.
Yep.
Cigarettes after sex at XL Energy Center, September 24th. And I thought, this place is finally loosening up a little bit.
What a promotion.
But I'm going to take a stab. That's a band?
It's a pop band, yeah.
You guys, are you aware of their...
I think it's pop band, right?
Yeah, I think that's what you define them as, yeah.
That grabbed me. A pop band, huh? I didn't picture that.
By the way, Wapple, let me just say, nice choice of music there.
Thanks.
Ozzy Shot, I love that song.
Shot in the Dark
Cool
off
riff.
the old Ultimate Sin record.
Great record, I love it.
1986.
Good work.
All right, I got another poll here for you, another survey. Let's try this one out. This one's got Cubby written all over it. 75% of us have skipped a social event because we knew parking would be a pain in the ass.
Parking is something I do think about often. Or I might think, like, if my wife picks a place for a special event dinner or something. I'm like, well, why would you... the parking sucks there. Why, either the lot's not big enough or, it's too packed.
I love that. You played that out perfectly. The expression of hopelessness on your face right there as you were acting out. Asking your wife, why would you choose the parking? It's terrible.
I'm like, well, they've got a Burnsville location, and the parking lot's huge. Why would we go to the downtown Minneapolis one? That makes no sense.
I'm completely with you, Josh. I'll change the plans if I find out it's like only street parking. Nah, never mind.
And then I'm cheap, too. We got to pay to park there. I don't even know how to do it.
What if it's something you guys absolutely have to? How many days in advance do you start doing researching and looking up lots or maybe looking at comments on the restaurant to see if they have any parking tips? You guys go that far?
I do look it up, yeah, if I'm unfamiliar.
I'm just starting to get a hold of emails, so but you guys have done that? You've looked in advance at reviews and things like that?
What the parking situation's going to be like.
But your wife, she don't care. Why? Why doesn't she care? Because she probably never drives.
She doesn't know. She won't drive.
You drive.
I have to drive.
What do you mean she won't drive?
She's accused me of being critical of her driving.
You have been critical of her driving
but
before?
But never when I'm in the car.
Okay.
Only on the radio.
When you do your bit on your wife's driving, it is quite funny.
No, I don't. In the car, I realize, hey, I have very little experience, keep in mind. Most of my experience of her driving is following her somewhere where we've got two cars.
Now, when's the last time you were in the passenger seat and she was driving?
I can't even remember.
Lucky.
I mean, I don't think, she's had this vehicle. We have a pandemic vehicle. We shared one. I thought it was awesome. She hated it. We got it like right in the worst time to buy a car, pandemic, and I haven't been in the passenger seat of that thing.
Do you drive a lot, Ashley, when you're out with your boyfriend?
I do all the driving.
You do all the driving?
Because you sweet new ride?
Yeah, well, that's probably the main reason. Because my car has, half the amount of miles on it, much better gas mileage because he drives a truck.
It's an economic decision.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel I kind of get car sick easily if I'm in the passenger seat.
So we all gathered at the Mr. Big show a week ago. Did you drive to that event?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yep.
You know, that's funny you say that because my wife gets car sick when she's not driving, yet she still never drives.
She's willing to put up with it.
But I think part of it is too, let's say we round the first corner pulling out of our neighborhood, she's already asleep.
Oh, okay.
She's like a baby. She falls asleep in the car super quick.
I wish I could do that.
You get car sick in the passenger seat, and you like to save a little money. Those are two of the factors why you drive almost all the time. See, now, and this isn't, I'm not sitting here saying, I'm not taking some stance about how the man should drive or the woman shouldn't. That's not where this comes from. I just pictured your boyfriend as being the driver man because you like to get pretty wasted.
So yeah, if there's any type of drinking involved,
of course.
He'll take the sober route.
Of course.
Yeah. He's really nice about that actually.
So then you know all about this parking hassle.
Oh yeah. It stresses me out.
Your boyfriend is like Josh's wife, where he don't care.
No.
But you say, hey, wait a minute. I'm the one who's got to park the vehicle in this nightmare friggin' parking ramp or whatever the situation may be.
Yeah. Street parking? Not happening.
I can't say I've ever, as this talks about, 75% have skipped an event. I've never skipped an event.
No.
Oh, you haven't? I'm surprised that you haven't.
No, I haven't. I wouldn't skip an event, if it's important enough or whatever, but.
Parking on the street sucks.
Yeah, I would think, gee. That was one of my favorite things of moving out of Minneapolis. Like people like, what do you like living in the suburbs? Parking.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's free and it's abundant and easy.
And you don't have to wait what side of the road you have to park on.
Oh, Jesus, with the snow emergencies you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, I got towed once.
Oh, I
got towed once because I slept on a snow emergency. That was effing fun, walking out of my garbage apartment in garbage Minneapolis. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm going to my garbage radio job that I hated. This is a long time ago. And I walk out, I'm miserable, and my car's not there.
Oh, that sucks.
Because I fell asleep early and didn't catch the snow emergency announcement.
I had that happen to me, except it wasn't a snow emergency route. So I had to go prove that it wasn't. It was easy to prove, actually, but I was a block over from where a snow emergency route was, and they didn't realize it.
Do you drive all the time, Wapple and Dana, when you got your women's with you?
All the time. I do not let her drive.
Is she a terrible driver?
I value my life. Yeah.
She sucks at it?
Yeah, she's kind of bad.
Why does she suck at it? Because Josh has told us why his wife sucks at driving. Why does your girlfriend suck at driving? What makes her so sucky?
She doesn't really pay attention too much.
Oh, that's key usually. That's one of the big factors in driving.
Is that, Josh, you said something about your wife that always you find fascinating is, when she's going through an intersection, she just keeps looking straight ahead.
Well, it's not planning ahead. That's the main thing. Like, she'll be in the left lane and then go, oh, there's my exit in 5 feet.
I hate driving with people like that.
It's like, well, you could have just thought ahead. Like, where you're going to exit. Why are you staying there so long?
I'll get over, Josh, maybe even 2 miles ahead of my exit sometimes, just because it's so less stressful.
There's signs on the side of the road that warn you that you're coming up to your exit.
Got a text here from someone says, literally on the way to the passport agency in Minneapolis, already stressed about the parking. Oh, I'd imagine, this time of day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you go downtown or whatever and you have to park on the street and you find a spot. Is that not just the most glorious feeling in the world? But it shouldn't be that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, especially when it's a spot that you can just pull into.
Yeah. That is such an exciting feeling. It shouldn't be that way. It should be easier than that, but it's not.
I do think, so I spent the first 24 years of my life in Minneapolis. I grew up there, and I did learn how to become very good at parallel parking. So I'm glad I have that skill. Because I've noticed some friends who were from areas like where I live now, and they never had to worry about something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm decent at it, but I bet you'd whoop my ass.
They are not very good at it at all.
And you never have to parallel park in Egan.
Never.
Yeah.
No.
When I got my D-dub and they took away my license and I had to go to the DMV in Minneapolis to
Which,
go
by the way,
reinstate
just
it.
for the record, that was all quite hilarious, and we appreciated it.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
You had to go to the DMV for what?
I had to go to the DMV downtown Minneapolis to get my license reinstated. And I almost thought to myself, I'm like, could I just live without my license without going down there?
That's how bad it was for you.
When I was bar gigging a lot back in the day, when I would do bar gigs with a radio station, if it was in Minneapolis, I'd just call a cab. I would avoid the situation altogether.
That's smart.
Yeah, for me, I would get somewhere super early to make sure it was easy to.
You do that.
I like to do that anyways, no matter what. But certainly, if there's something like that going on.
I would always drive to the station and then drive with the interns.
Dude, I hated that because the interns were douchebags.
Oh, that's what I would do too. I will say, I'm glad you said to the station. I really do appreciate that we've got a parking lot here. Because I know, Dana, you've worked at stations where that wasn't the case. You had to pay for parking. And that can be significant if you're doing that every day.
We either had to pay for a parking spot, which was like a couple $100 a month, or we had to park on the street and then remember to plug the meters when it kicked in at like 8 o'clock. And of course, we never would. So then we get enough parking tickets that we should have just paid for the month of parking. It's just a nightmare.
That's brutal.
Here's a commercial painter who said, when I have to work downtown St. Paul or Minneapolis, I look ahead the day before and plan my parking ramp. Yeah, I would too.
Speaking of paying now, let's go that route. We're having a conversation about, obviously, parking. 75% of us have skipped a social event because we knew parking would be a hassle. Okay, 88% of us try to avoid paying for parking at all costs. You'll drive around to look for a free spot. Or you could probably include this into the conversation. Just look for a cheaper spot. I am the exact opposite. I do not, if I'm going to a ball game or some event where it's busy and I have to park, I don't care what the cost is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll pay for it. It always makes me think of like Twins games. I'll pay to park in that ramp that's right there.
Right. I am not going to walk 7 blocks to save myself $10. I am going to park in the douchiest rich guy spot. I don't care what they want. I've got buddies who will drive around for 20 minutes. I'm not paying $20. Oh, I'm not paying $20. Here's one for $15, right? But yet we're walking 3.5 miles.
Right.
You save $5. You're going to go in there and spend $17 on one beer. Why are we arguing over $5 outside the friggin' arena? And it's 30 below. You're going to a hockey game. I mean, come on.
I mean, I've gotten to a point where I feel douchey about it, but I'm just like, you know what? We'll valet. I don't want to have to worry about parking.
Do that.
Yes.
I'd rather just pay a guy. You know, here you go.
I know it sucks. But I will be that sorry bastard who will hand over a big pile of money for a primo parking spot. I am not going to walk 6-8 blocks.
I was shocked. People were talking about like going to Monster Jam or these different events at US Bank Stadium. How much? Like somebody said they paid $60 to park for something like that.
I'll do it.
Crazy.
I remember Swift was even more expensive last summer.
Really?
Taylor Swift, I'm talking about, of course.
I remember, I think for Monster Energy Supercross, I paid like $40 for parking.
Oh.
Was it close? Were you right where you wanted to be? Or?
Yeah, right by US Bank Stadium.
It's a hell of a deal.
Oh, Purple Belt Jesus bought tickets to Red Hot Chili Peppers, $25 each. Parking was $40.
This must have been a while back.
Yeah, I would think it'd be more, right? $25, you're paying more in fees nowadays.
Christ, that must have been the late 80s or something like that if you're paying $25 to see the Chili Peppers.
You guys smell that? It smells bad out here, too. I'm starting to think this whole town smells like doo-doo.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, we've been talking about driving and parking and what a pain in the ass it can be. Got some text messages on the whole schmear. Marauder guy, Jesus, talking about, parking in a parking ramp. Some are built better than others, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the ramp we all parked in, at least, I don't know, maybe the rest of us didn't. The ramp that we parked in for the Mr. Big show must have been built before pickups.
Yeah.
You can't even get in and out of your damn... Okay, Marauder Guy Jesus texted, and he says, he's got big dualies, Cubby.
Oh, awesome. I've never had a vehicle with dualies.
Like they do on that television show you guys like so much again. What's that called? The Wild West modern-day shootout family that's been around
Yellowstone?
for... Yellowstone. He's got big dualies, he says, so fitting in ramps or in a parking lot is always in the back of my mind. Yeah, stressful. You're on your way to go do something. You got your sweet, badass dualies rolling. You don't know if you're going to fit in the friggin' spot. Army Daddy Jesus and a few other people texted in and said, use the damn light rail, you tools. I've never gotten involved in the light rail. What do you guys know about the light rail?
I've used it.
You have?
Yeah.
Never used it.
Real slick.
Where does it go?
This way, that way.
It goes this way and that way?
Whoa, no.
Starts at the Mall of America. You can goes by through the airport, then has a bunch of stops down by like Cardinal bars. You go up, I think it was at 55, then gets you downtown.
Well, that's this way, but Waffle said it went that way.
He said it goes that way.
Oh, does it go that way too?
Yeah,
We
it
know
goes down
about-
to St. Paul, and it goes down by the depot
What?
and down at that area.
I've never really gotten involved. One of my oldest friends drives the sumbitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, a buddy of mine works for
He
it.
hates
one
it.
of mine does too.
He really hates it.
Does he really?
Yeah. I don't know. But wait a minute. Okay, what good does the light rail do me when I live in the western suburbs? It doesn't do me any good, does it?
Yeah,
No.
you gotta wonder.
All right, I really don't know. I've never followed. I've seen it go by, and I just don't know what it does or where it goes.
I mean, yes, I could probably drive to the Mall of America and take the light rail.
Yeah.
But then I'm already in my car. And then I'm going to be tempted to shop at DSW.
Get you a nice pair of loafers.
Yeah.
Is that a problem for you with the? They're very tempting over there at DSW.
Well, some of those stores, I mean, they'll just draw you right in.
Oh no!
What if I need a magnet? I'm going to have to go to the magnet store.
The tie store? Are they all they sell is ties? We were talking about the cost of parking. And many of us are willing to pay whatever it takes to get us in a better position than the sorry bastards who are walking 10 blocks.
Never used to be that way for me. Never. I never would pay. I would park for free no matter how far I had to walk.
So you would walk those 10, 12 blocks to the monster truck show. You wouldn't
easily. I refused, or I'd pay the cheapest place, and now I'm a different man now.
I remember going back to Twins games at the old Metrodome.
The old Metrodome.
Boy, would our parents make us hike to get to that place.
Cheap pricks.
Oh, yeah.
Cheap pricks. A lot of listeners texted in and said, you bet I'm paying top dollar for parking at the state fair. Absolutely.
Yeah, the problem with that, though, is, because you get down there and all the lots are full.
Well, sure, but I mean, you got to get lucky. There's exceptions to every... State fair is a big one for me. I don't give a rat's ass what the hell number they got on that piece of cardboard. I'll pay it if I don't have to. We were joking around about Josh's wife. She's not the greatest driver. Sounds like she's better than Wapple's girlfriend. So Josh's wife, you mentioned that, she'll wait till the last second and jerk the wheel to the right and go sailing off into oblivion in order to not miss her
She's
turn.
a little spacey, yeah.
Not miss her exit is how grown folks say it. This is an interesting comment from a listener. Good drivers sometimes miss their turn. Bad drivers never miss their turn.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, if I'm ever in that spot, you're right. I'm going way out of my way so I don't cut off the entire freeway.
Yep.
Even if it's probably something where it's just borderline dickish, I still don't want to be that guy. Oil Spill Jesus said, according to a buddy, DSW is designer shoes for women. Yeah, I know.
Oh, is that right?
That's what
He likes a nice pair of pumps.
I do. I think it really accentuates my thighs.
Oh, your calves look great in a pair of pumps, Josh.
Now, we have a female listener who's, I think it's quite clear she's looking to start trouble. She says we were talking about who drives in your, Josh always drives when him and the wife go out, but yet Ashley...
My wife does not like driving, no.
Ashley always drives when she and her boyfriend, everyone got a different way to do it. Here's a gal who says, I drive the majority of the time just because my husband is a terrible driver. And she goes as far as to say that men are horrible drivers.
Well, yeah, what do you mean? Like, is there specific things we do that makes us bad drivers? I notice, if there's an aggressive... If I'm ever tailgated, it's almost always a woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's just an option. I'm not saying all women are like that. I'm just saying the times I've been tailgated, it seems like it's a woman.
Maybe they're chasing you.
My experience is the complete opposite. It's usually almost... I'd say 90% of the time, it's a dude in a truck.
That's tailgating you?
Yep.
I don't know about that. I can just say this in general. The really bad drivers that I know are dudes. I know plenty of both, men and women. Like all of my friggin' wife and all my ex-girlfriends were very good drivers. The bad drivers that I know and I could tell you stories about, they're all dudes.
With men,
I don't know what that counts for, but that's my personal experience.
With the men that I've rode in vehicles with, or like boyfriends I've had, they all have one thing in common when it comes to driving, and that's like they don't mind not being able to see the person in front of them's license plate. Like they just get that close. And I'm like, this is scary. I don't like this.
2 more comments that I have here in front of me on parking. And then we can move on with our lives. Everyone will be allowed to move on with their lives. Listener has a question. Have you ever handed money to a guy at a parking ramp and then you said to yourself, hey, does that guy even work here?
Yeah, plenty of times.
I figure if they got a bright vest on, they probably do, but I might be be had here.
You can't just buy one of those on Amazon for $10.
You pay him, you drive for about 5 seconds, and you say, hey, does that guy really work here?
He had liquor on his breath.
Yeah. He's wearing the concert shirt for the show that we're going to. And one final comment. It's an odd one, but it all counts. A listener says, I puked in a parking ramp once, and there was a coin in there.
I think you won.
I'd have questions. I must say.
What the hell is that? Is that a nickel? What the hell?
What's that doing there? I'll fish that out.
What did we do last night?
Yeah, you'd have some questions. That's for sure.
There's a coin in there.
Sending some thoughts and prayers through the radio to Machinist Viking Jesus' grandma. She's having some surgery today. Hope it's a quick recovery. I really like this text from But I Have to Drive an Effing Garbage Truck Jesus, who said, how about a proud shout out to the hundreds, if not thousands of brothers and sisters of the brave men and women of the red and blue, took time to honor, pay their respects, and show solidarity to our brave fallen yesterday. Procession through Savage, 90 minutes long, saw them from as far away as Ontario, Montana, Kansas, and Michigan. That was something to see. May have been more, he said. Truly impressive to this former firefighter. Our hats off and hearts go out to their families and friends. Thanks. Well said. We also want to recognize Rare Disease Day today, an observance held on the last day of February to raise awareness for rare diseases and improve access to treatment for individuals with those rare diseases and their families. Nice reminder to keep them who are having difficult times in our thoughts. Happy Leap Anniversary number 6 to Bookbinding Jesus from Blacktop Jesus, and some Leap Day birthdays. Happy Leap Day birthday to the Leaplings, Hershey Highway Hitchhiker Jesus. Happy 5th to Maddie from Dad, a heavenly birthday wish to Shane from his little sister, Charla. And this text says, happy birthday to my little buddy Ryan on his 5th leap year birthday from his truck driving dad. For everyone else, have a safe and happy leap day.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.